That thing I posted about that BepInEx tool for Unity being able to rip it off, I'm not completely convinced that it's not horrible, so I might have to pick your brain about Unreal, if you don't mind, someday.
Wait, the what now?
In the dev group chat, I posted about there's a tool for modding Unity games, and it just lets you read the code. It like
Oh, that's right. I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
yeah, like an F1 editor, and here's all the code for the game. Justin was like, it looks like it might only be scripts attached to objects, but I'm like, no, there's like a browser in that thing, I think. And I just don't want people to just go like, oh, how does he do this? And here's exactly how he did this. I would show anybody anything, but I don't want people logging in. So I'm kind of like, how do you stop them? I don't think you can stop them.
I don't know. I really wouldn't be all that concerned about it, to be honest. There's a million ways to skin a cat, you know? I mean, like, as soon as your game is public, people can copy the features.
True. But I just...
Or hell, even completely in a vacuum, shit can happen. You know, like, D-Maw posted the other game that was like, we're a slice of life
fishing.
What the fuck ever thing, you know? Yeah, and it's eerily similar, and they could have stole his idea, or it just could have happened in a vacuum, you know. I don't know. I'm not really all that concerned about it myself.
Yeah, I just don't like people reading my code because.
I mean, you know, you could just use not Unity.
That's kind of where I'm leaning because, like, I did get a pretty cool procedural generation thing going with mountain ranges, and I like. There's a C# version of some plugin that I remember I did some, you know, like free.
Yeah, but you can do that in Unreal in like less than 5 minutes.
That too, but I like to be able to control it too.
But you can do that though. That's the whole thing, you know.
Right.
And Blueprints is just fucking phenomenal. I love Blueprints so much.
And that's where like I've been thinking about making games for a while anyway, so I wanted to get something done with like, you know, almost like this pill person walking around and getting something with multiple, you know, platforms and multiplayer support while it just looks like this to see if I could do it. I was going to think about doing that in Unity, getting back into that, and then Unreal side by side to see which one I like better.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, what you could do is, like, you could load up the template for VR for Unity and Unreal, make some changes in both, and just see which one you like better.
Yeah. Because Unity's multiplayer stuff to set up is really easy. But it's not built in. It's third party, I think, still.
Yeah, see, that's part of the problem, is everything in Unity is fucking third party. And that is part of the biggest problem I have with that piece of shit software. No offense to you or Johnny and fucking Justin, but fuck Unity. I don't understand how the hell they're so popular when everything you have to do in that goddamn engine requires a plugin that costs, you know, 50, 60, 70, 100 fucking dollars. I don't get it.
And,
everything in Unreal is just built in. Everything.
Well, I think
for fuck's sake, they have modeling tools in the engine now.
Right. 10 years ago when I was using it, it was the only thing where you could say JavaScript or C# and just have a ball with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So
and then again, I mean, according to the rumors, you know, Unreal, like for version Unreal Engine 5, they're introducing a whole new fucking like programming system language that like isn't even you know, everything right now is based on C++, and it'll probably stay that way, but they're going to have something, you know, like a scripting system, you know, kind of like how you can do C# in Unity.
Yeah, as long as it's not mono, because I think that's what that BepInEx tool uses. There's like a mono flavor of C# everything uses. There is a plugin for Unreal to start using mono C#, but that just reads mono and spits out the code. And I'm like, that's going to do the same thing.
I don't know. I personally just love Blueprint scripting. You can do so much shit so quickly in Unreal using blueprints.
That's the point and click and drag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's visual programming.
I do that stuff all the day at work too. I'm very familiar with that and C# and stuff, so I'd probably be all right.
It's awesome too because you can like watch your code execute, like the flow of execution. It like highlights it with electricity. It's really cool.
Yep, that's cool. How is it like to publish to other platforms? Like I said, if I wanted to get the three of us walking around and multiplayer, and you on a web version, and PJ on an Xbox, and me in VR, is it easy
I mean,
to publish to
they
other
do it with
platforms?
they do it with Fortnite, so I don't know why that wouldn't be possible. Epic, they use Unreal obviously for Fortnite, and they have the mobile version and the game for the console versions. It all runs together, so
I just got to dig into it, but I'm thinking I'm liking the
Yeah.
at least security via abstraction of not having someone just read my fucking code.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
can't-
sure there's ways you could like hide things, but I don't know. I wouldn't be that concerned about it, to be completely honest. Like, as soon as your shit's public, anyone can steal it. It's just the way of the world.
Yep.
People suck.
Yeah. One moment, my cat is trying to get my dinner.
You could eat the cat.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll probably eat you if you die, so
Yeah, it's fair play.
He's waiting for it, I'm sure.
It is 8:05 and we're still missing Johnny and Justin. What the hell? And Demo.
Yeah.
Anybody say they weren't coming tonight? I've
No,
been
everyone said
busy.
they were
I've been
coming.
buried all day, so.
Yeah. I started rolling, so you guys are having a good chat, so.
Oh, great. We're opening up with talking about eating a cat. That's great.
Yeah. I don't see a cat, so.
Not yet.
I'm sorry, what about a cat? He's gone.
Robert said you could eat your cat if he eats your supper.
Yeah.
In the cat.
Yeah.
Seems fair. Hey, there's Justin.
Hey, man.
You're late.
Hey, forgot to update Spatial Ape.
That's Wookiee, by the way.
All right, it's Wookiee.
Oh, okay. You're still
See
just
if
a
it's
pill
on
for
the
me. I don't
website.
know if you're gonna stay like a box and pills, but that's what I'm looking at right now.
These hands.
Looks like he is still pills.
Yeah, he's having account issues, so he's going to be a DMAW 2 tonight.
They wouldn't let me log in to get a new number, but it would let me create a new account. So
Huh. There's like 3 PJs too, unless.
Yep.
Did anyone
I'm
else see that? Or is it
recording-
just me?
Yep, I'm
Oh,
recording
those are like the cameras.
dual vision here.
Nice.
I didn't
From
even see
every
the other
angle.
people.
It's kind of in the wall there.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Star Trek when like the Borg are all like melted like together.
And anyone watching, and you guys don't mind the Sell Me Game Sweet Surrender stuff, they're going to be on the podcast tomorrow. So
Oh, nice.
it's
This is such a
Horrible
beautiful
game.
fucking art style.
Yeah, I love that game. It's so fun. Looks
Oh,
good.
that's like the roguelike one, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Shooting
Roguelike
robots.
games. That might be like my next project. I already have like a prototype. I think I told you
Nice.
guys that like I started prototyping that before like
Yeah.
Samurai
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse. How's you guys' week been?
Busy as
Pretty
fuck. Super fucking busy.
Yeah, before I invited Wookiee to our like private chats, I'm like, buckle up, because these guys, once they start talking about something, they're like, you guys always seem way busier than I am, and you guys make me feel better if I'm like feeling busy or stressed at work. I'm like, well, look at these guys go.
I've gotten some really nice feedback this week from another developer. One of my contractors actually. I found out he's actually the same age as I am, and we were talking about movies for some reason, and he referenced like Iron Man 2 or some shit, and I was like, yeah, I've never seen that. He was like, fucking how? It came out like 11 years ago. I was like, I don't have time for movies. He was like, I don't have time for movies either these days. It came out like 11 years ago. Like, we would have been kids. I was like, yeah, but I started making shit when I was like 12. I've been working like this since I was 12, so I don't really know. Yeah, no. He was like, wow, that's impressive.
I made
Or
a lot of
sad,
stuff as a
depends on how
kid
you
too
look
because
at
my
it.
parents like didn't want to like buy me a bunch of video games. So it's like, well, let me just download this free engine. Then this will kill a lot of time.
Yeah.
You can't play games, but you can make them all day long. Probably smart.
I started skipping school in high school just to fucking build shit. It was fun.
Awesome.
I had like the CD. It said like 1,000 games, but when you get on it, it's actually like 1,000 like demos,
Yeah.
or like 500 like demos and 500 like freeware games.
Yep.
Good times. Windows 3.1.
Yep. Old shit. This week's been busy as shit though. It started out very sad, obviously, with us, losing one of our guinea pigs. But
Yeah. Poor Cinnamon.
Yeah.
yeah, poor Cinnamon.
I'd
She was
raise a
young
couple.
too. Like we didn't really expect her to go.
That's
That sucks.
She was only like 3 or 4 years old.
So I've never had guinea pig or anything like that. Like I've had cats and dogs and stuff. How
Yeah.
long do guinea pigs normally stick around?
7 to 8 years,
Okay.
and 2 of ours are like coming up on 4 or 5.
Hmm.
2 of the other ones,
Yeah.
and then 2 of the other ones are turning 4 this year.
How many do you
a
have?
bunch of it.
We have, with Cinnamon gone, we have 6.
Wow.
We just got the one Shiba. Like our condos, like our HOA technically says we can only have 2. Like I keep telling them they'll never like enforce it, but my wife wants to get a hairless cat, and I'm like, dude, they look freaky as heck, but if we put
Yeah.
like a sweater on it so I don't have to look at its wrinkly body, I'll be okay with it.
Dude, I wanted the hairless guinea pigs. They look like fucking little hippopotamuses.
I've seen
Oh,
those.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
look kind of
yeah.
cute. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are cute. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They just have like little fur on their nose, and that's it. It's great.
Yeah.
little mustache.
But where's, I think in Discord, our Discord, like for our friends and stuff, I think I sent a picture of a hairless cat that was like buckled into a seatbelt, like in a car, just sitting there letting it all hang out, and it was just like the most disturbing photo.
I don't know, it looks like ET or something. Like
Yeah.
Disturbing.
Well,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a hairless cat, but my wife won't have them because they're creepy to her. But I've had cats all my life, and I'm just cat hair everywhere. Like no matter how well you've seen.
I'm lucky that my wife is allergic to cats and dogs, so I'll never have to deal with those.
I like our little dog. The cats, I mean, I guess they're all right. Like, but yeah, they do shed a lot. But the Siamese cats are kind of cool.
Cats
They're
are
I want a
disturbing to me,
Chihuahua, but
man.
my
They're-
wife
they're
thinks it'll
fucking
bark
mean.
a lot.
Yeah, they
I
will.
was like, we'll get a nice Chihuahua. We'll get like a Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas
they've
are
bred
mean,
that-
man. Like by default, like my aunt used to have one, and every time my uncle would walk in the room, it would just start growling at him. It fucking
Yeah.
hated him.
The stereotype. There's nice Chihuahuas too.
I don't know about that. If there are, I've never met one.
Now, way back
As soon
when
as
we
he
were
fucking
kids,
walks in the room, just it was awful. I hate it.
Tell me if I'm misremembering this, BJ. When we were kids, Mom and Dad had those friends of ours, the Danks or whatever, and didn't their
Yeah.
little Chihuahua like freak out, hit his head on a vase or a vase, and like drop dead?
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
man.
It's
like he was his own
Spaz.
demise
How does that
for no
even
reason.
happen? It's like that Mummy movie where that guy's running because that bug's in his brain. He just headbutts the wall and falls over dead.
Maybe they'll be like Rocky, like. Yeah, I got switched over to URP. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I also started putting together like a game world, like encyclopedia type things, or doing some game building. That thing, Johnny sent me actually helped with that.
So what? Well, before we get to that second part, because I don't even know what you just said, but how was the universal render pipeline helped, or how has it changed your workflow in comparison to whatever the fuck the other one is?
The standard one.
Yeah.
I don't know. The guy that's optimizing for the Quest just wanted it because he said there's like mobile URP or something. I don't know. He wanted it switched over, so I'm like, whatever, let's just do it. But after I ended up getting it switched over, like I ended up getting to get my shadows to look a lot better. So I don't know. That's like a
Okay.
benefit.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I mean, it's just like it's just more work. I mean, I think for me personally, but I guess there's probably some kind of advantage. I just don't know enough to know what it is.
I mean, like,
but
have you
I know
noticed
some
a
special
performance
effects.
difference?
Yeah, it's supposedly better on performance, like a little bit, and there's also more effects you can have with it. Um, I noticed too a couple of my materials, like there was like needed to be three different, like or a couple of my shaders. There's three different like variations of it, but on the URP they're able to pack all those into one with like different on it. So
Oh, nice.
I'm sure whoever's writing the shaders, it's better and more versatile. I just, it's not my thing. But I did get my shadows looking better, which is nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really. So, what about the encyclopedia thing you were talking about?
Oh yeah. So it's like the Game World Encyclopedia, for like the lore and stuff. So I started kind of like explaining like some of the characters and the different like how the economy works and everything.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah, I didn't even see that. I must have missed that.
oh no, I didn't post that for anyone. That's just for my internal thing. But
thought
because
you
I'm
said
getting ready to
something that
bring on
Johnny
like
posted.
writers, so.
No, okay.
Oh yeah. He posted something about that someone shared with him about like world building.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Yeah, so I read over it. And at first it looked really simple, but then when I started actually like look at the questions, it helped me answer some kind of things about my game. Because I was because when I was talking to other dev, we were like, we got to figure out why these like people or why the player wants to kill like these random guys walking around.
Oh, wait, this is
So-
like the 10 rules of like world development or something like that he posted.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So when I
yeah.
started thinking about the economy, because first, who can use magic and the economy, that actually tied in because like I was like, the magic is all done by crafting things from these yokai. And, like, the only warriors can go out and harvest these yokai parts because the animals are aggressive. So kind of the economy revolves around them going out, getting those parts, and bringing them back. And then people with special skills will turn those into stuff. And then that way the common people can use like magic potions to make their regular life better. But, because this is such a like lucrative business, when you go out there, the other warriors who are hunting those yokai don't want you stepping on their territory. So that's why they're attacking you too. So I was
Makes
like, all
sense,
right,
yeah.
there we go. We got our story explanation right there.
So
Nice.
just
So-
because they have a sword isn't enough reason to attack them. I mean,
Is it there?
yeah. I mean, that's how I run my life.
I know how it's like Samurai Champloo. It's like, hey, you look strong, and I want to fight strong people, so let's go.
Yep. So, do you think that's been helpful to kind of flesh things out and actually make you want to like do backstory and all that, or?
Yeah, it did actually, because I mean, I've been wanting to do the story. I mean, I still want to like hire someone to do most of it, but as far as just trying to come up with like an explanation for like the gameplay loop, even without like the details, like I
Mhm.
was kind of struggling. And like when I looked at it and started thinking about those other like things that seem unrelated, like it ended up all like tying in. So I was like, oh, it kind of just like clicked. So it was pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, because when you don't know why you're doing what you're doing in a game, sometimes like the gameplay loop, when that gets a little stale, not that an action game would get stale, but when somebody's played it for a couple weeks, they might get a little like, why am I here? What am I doing? What can I do with all this money I've
Yeah, and I think that adds a little bit to the adventure too, even if it's not like a huge deep story, which hopefully will have like a good story. The other guy was talking about Disco Elysium and like Telltale games, how there's like, it tricks you, like it makes it seem like the story changes, but then it's still the same. And I'm like, oh, we could do that if the writer wants to get real into it. I'm like, I mean, that stuff is cool. It's just not what I'm like super excited about doing. So if the rest of my team wants to like knock that out, I'm kind of just like, I just want enough to frame the action, like, a reason why I'm climbing up this hill and killing these guys and stuff. Like,
gotta watch out too, because if you do the character choices and you have the illusion of choice, but it doesn't actually change anything, a lot of people been busted on the old Telltale games and stuff like that, because it's like, why give me 4 options if the next sentence is like the same thing?
I was about to tag
but
you in a
what's
post,
cool
Johnny.
about them though? Oh, hey, Johnny's here.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
So,
I
Still
heard
missing
Telltale
Demo.
games.
I'll be Demon.
He's probably
This is
taking a
Wookiee.
nap.
Matches.
Oh, I was
Hey.
about to say, hey, who are you, new guy with the finger guns? Okay, no, Wookie. Hey, Wookie.
The website broke.
Ah,
Right.
got it. Okay, I see.
I'm playing Demo. Manga panels. Yarr.
Right.
It almost could be like an aesthetic on the game if there's just like some kind of like stickers on the face, like you know,
Right.
On me or like
like the what are the server bots in Mega Man Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Right.
Uh,
Oh, that's funny.
I think it'd be hilarious if Demos stuck like this in his game somewhere, like on a billboard or something. Just
Mhm.
this is
somebody
this
eating
is what I
sushi in
think
the
of
back of the
Demo when I
restaurant.
see Demo.
Oh man, that's good times. Oh man, good time.
it was funny
You
because
guys-
like when I was first prototyping my original like roguelike game, they kind of just had like no real theme except like there's kind of sub themes. I was thinking about making like a Unity themed room. It just has like all the overused assets. It was gonna have like Robot Kyle, Unity Chan, and like the sky was just gonna be the default like sky.
Oh, I love that. Relatable. Yeah.
Robert
like
would get
prototype
down in
land.
that room.
Mhm.
Be one of those stress rooms breaking crap.
Right. With like a hammer that has the Unreal symbol on it. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's Unity. It'll break itself, you know.
Ouch.
They break it every update anyway.
That is poor.
You grab the non-LTS hammer.
Right. Oh. You all were talking about Telltale Games when I came in?
Oh yeah, because we were talking about kind of story. Because I started putting together my game world encyclopedia Bible type thing,
That's cool.
and yeah, I don't know. I was saying like the other developer, he was wanting to do like this really crazy, like he wants to get really in depth with like the story, which is
Huh.
it's like I hired you to optimize, not to write story. But
Right.
he's like even if we had the writer, we should still figure out like that of the plow you don't want to do. And he kept talking about Disco Elysium. I gotta try it now because he just pushed it so much.
Mhm.
And then, but yeah, he was saying like, they're like, you kind of make these decisions and it seems like it's affecting the story in big ways,
Right.
but it's really not. And then I was like, oh yeah, kind of like the Telltale games where,
Oh, fair.
you make this decision and like this character dies and it seems like that's a significant, thing later if that character,
Mhm.
or if you save that character and he ends up there later, it
Right.
seems like it's a big story thing, but if that character died, then someone else will kind of just pop it and take
Right.
his place. So on your 1st playthrough, it seems like it's massively making a difference, but in the overall picture, it actually kind of just
It's-
loops back to the same spot, anyways.
Mhm.
So true to life. I mean, that's how I like my teens. Was the first
Right.
playthrough, and I'm like, none of this shit matters. Like, what? Get
Right.
out of here! You'll be replaced.
True.
None of you were real.
Oh, that's good. Disco Elysium is kind of a high bar to try to compare narratively. They like wrote their story over 10 years. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like that's
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's what I was saying. Like for me, like the narrative, as long as it's enough to explain why, like the
Right.
player's doing what they're doing, that's like all I
Right.
really care about.
right.
Enough
motivation.
enough to give them some grindy quests here and there, and
Mhm.
enough to pad out the game, like
Right.
and they keep it interesting.
That's such a fine line to walk because just again
Right.
as a gamer playing, like I love story and content and all that, but if it's too much, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna hit the button.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying too. Like a lot of our dialogue, I want to say like
Mhm.
like I always talk about like I always want to say Oblivion, Skyrim, like in VR, like it's a great game, and like I wouldn't want them to like cut stuff out to make it in VR because you want the full
Right.
experience, but at the same time you're like, oh my god, can you like
Right.
finish talking? Like I want to go shoot stuff with a bow or
Right.
something. Like,
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Biomutant. Like it was amazing how dense that game was. It was just
Yeah.
a lot.
I was noticing too, and I was playing like a lot of JRPGs. One of their flaws is that they give you so much story in the beginning, and then you're like, "Oh my god, let me skip past this." And then by the time like you start playing, by the time you care about the story, you're like, "Wait, maybe I should have
Right.
read all that stuff." But like,
right.
in the beginning, you're not invested yet. You don't care about all
Right.
that. So like, I think it does need to pace out. Get you into action, get you interested in the game world, and then start like
Right.
spitting the story at you. Like, don't spit the story at the player before they even like care about it.
Right. I think that's kind of one of the brilliant things Nier Automata did, right? Like it gave you enough at the beginning, like, okay, I guess I care, and then like on the subsequent playthroughs, it's like, oh, I'm engaged, like I'm here for all of this, right?
I think that's
Mhm.
what Japanese folks are, because there's a lot of, you know, growing up watching dubbed anime tapes, they leave the commercials in, and you just see like teenage kids to adults laying on their couch, like reading the PlayStation JRPG stuff. Like they're not really playing the
Right.
action; they're just like a soap opera to them. So I think that's why a lot of JRPGs are just like read for 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't have the attention span for that.
I don't mind the reading, but like I need the reading like at a point where like I'm already invested in it.
Right.
Or like put it as like a log. Like I was playing the Clive Barker game recently, Undying, and that has like these logs you can read. And I mean, they're great because it's made by Clive Barker. He's an author, so you know, like the logs are like the best part of that game. Or System Shock. Oh, that one has great like logs.
For sure.
In it. I love that game.
Mhm.
That's a good one too because it starts off the story just like, hey, you're a hacker and you
Right.
hack this thing, and they're going like, hey, you know, you want these updates, and then you wake up and you're like, well, what the hell's going on? And then you find out a little at a time, like what the hell's going on.
Mhm. That's Mhm.
Better than like No Man's Sky, because they touted. I mean, I love that game. They touted they're
Yeah.
going to have like sci-fi writers writing chunks of these things.
right.
But so far, none of the story elements, like you're following some stuff, none of them makes any sense, and it's not intriguing.
Oh, I know. It almost seems like it's
Mhm.
just randomly generated text
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're putting in there.
Exactly what
I
it
think
feels
it may
like.
just be randomly generated text. They're like, oh, the
Mhm.
sky is, you know, red. You're my friend. You know, I'm in another dimension. Let's meet somewhere. And then I'm like,
Right.
okay, I guess. Where's the next place I fly to?
And you can write a script, take out half of 3 words and put a bunch of dots in the static and brackets or something, and then they got like a mysterious signal.
Right. Oh man.
I think
I
a
know, it's
game
like I
with
spent all this time learning all these
randomly
words just. Yeah.
Sorry,
I know, like
I
you
was
spend all
just
the time learning words and then they don't even like say anything interesting after you learn like their language.
Right.
What? What did they say in Christmas story? Be sure to drink your Ovaltine, right? Like,
Yeah.
And this one, like, is just the buy and sell menu is all you're ever reading anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do
Interloper.
think a game with randomly generated text, like 100%, would be kind of fun. Like, just
It'd be interesting.
There's a
I
couple
don't know,
that
man. Have you seen like what the AI like generates? It's not great.
Well, that's because it learns
Like
from the
there's, like,
internet,
AR
and the
articles.
internet's full of like racist like assholes.
Yeah, a lot.
Fair.
I was looking at that, and there's like 2 games that have had like machine learning text. Like that's all it really is. Like the budget's all spent there, and you're like in a space capsule or something like that, or in a space station. And it was just like some people like when I played it, it was half, you know, coherent. Some of it breaks down, but like there's one, I forget the name of it. Girlfriend showed it to me. And it's just an online AI game. You just kind of pick a scenario, and it's like she was playing like an Oblivion version. Like you know, you're a demon and you're running around corrupting stuff. So these knights show up and you're just typing. So she typed like, you know, offer them a drink. And it's like you offer them a cup of your own blood and then they get correct. Like it's doing all that itself. And she's like, that's awesome. And I played it and it was
That's
just
wild.
like hot pile of steaming crap. I'm like,
Right. Mhm.
I was
You
so
ever play
excited.
that one game? I think it's called. What is it called? It's like the insult generator, but it has like deer.
Oh, I
Dear
love it.
my-
Oh, snaps. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, is that what it's called? It's not-
And like, yeah, like that's like the title. It's like, oh, snaps, and then like it like lists a error. or
Yeah, they have
something,
two. They have
but
that the first one, then they have like the celebrity based one. That one's so
Right.
much fun. Like
Mhm.
you like it has like these words you pop up and you have to put them together to like make insults, but it's so funny the phrases you could pick. You could be like, oh, your mother still uses Windows Vista. Like it's insults like that. Like
That's a great insult.
Right.
For a certain audience, yeah.
I'm totally using that at work on Monday.
Those things
That's
are
a
fun to
good
do. Like, I wanted to learn LUA scripting because I'd never used it. And in Warcraft,
Okay.
there was this old plugin, I think you used it too, PJ, called Dwarvenizer.
Yeah.
For anything you type, it would intercept it and it would, you know, chop it up and make it sound like you were typing in Scottish. And I used to
wow.
troll people with it all the time. It was really funny. And then nobody updated it. So I went through and just hacked it to pieces and updated it and turned a big insult generator thing to it. Like, had all these conditions and, like, you know, 3-part sentences and all this stuff and whether or not you were targeting the people or not. And it was like, you know, hopes this player gets the mange and all this stuff that I'd read in, you know, Witcher. It was hilarious doing that in, like, general chat. And everyone's like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Or we'd just be questing and you're character just starts spouting that crap, and every time they'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I had a thing that was like a start stop. Like if you just let it go, it would do it every like 3 minutes or random, and
Yeah,
you'd just
it
be
was
running
awesome.
around. Somebody'd be running in town. It would just blast them with like 3 sentences of bullshit, and it was coherent. It was nice. And they were like, "Dude, what did I do to you?" I'm like, I didn't forgot that was lit."
Oh, that's funny. How are you,
Hey.
Robert? You're quiet.
I don't know. I'm all right.
Good times.
How's
Having, like,
your
weird,
armor system going?
Do what?
Got it. You got your whole armor system going up now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it working the other day. Like, it's pretty awesome. You can like, the menu spawns around you, grab a piece, you can just like slap it to your chest, put
That's
a
cool.
helmet on. It's really cool.
Does it snap
Nice.
in place, or are they kind of crooked based on where you like set it and let it
Snaps
go?
in place, yeah. And like,
That'd be
and you
funny
don't
if it was, like-
see it unless you're like in the armor system, right? Because like it's just hands.
Right.
So if you
right.
if you press the X button to bring up the menu and then go into the armor category, it just like spawns it there, and you can replace it and
That's
stuff.
cool. Very cool.
That's pretty dope.
I like it a lot. I want to make a video of it, but there's still like some problems with like
Mhm.
I don't know what's causing it. Like if you're like fully decked out in armor and you decide to like take a piece off and like add it back to your inventory, it'll add that piece back to your inventory, but then it like duplicates anything else that you have.
Hmm.
So like if you grab like a chest piece and put it back in your inventory, it'll be in your
Mhm.
inventory and on your character still. So like
Right.
I don't know. I just seen that today when Nathan was trying it out because he just got back to the office. He was out for
Mhm.
like 2 weeks. So
You
Right.
should have a setting of like something to do with level or skill where it's not snapping perfectly wherever you place it, so it looks like your mom dressed you or you dressed yourself and your mom should have dressed you until you're like higher level. So if you're running around, you see this guy and he's all like that kid from Christmas Story where he's like in the snowsuit looking like
Yeah.
Oh, right.
we got a lot of stuff that's like coming together. It's pretty nice. Like all these systems just like floating apart.
Yeah.
But and now like by the end of next week, all of the interiors and exterior levels should be connected up. So
Wow.
we'll be able to like
Oh.
go into every single one of the houses in the game, which is going to be fucking cool because there's currently 119 of them.
That sounds so awesome.
Yeah. And then we got to go through and like actually fill those houses out and build the dungeons and long time. But it's gonna be good.
Nice.
Awesome.
And we're doing the occlusion pass for like simplified versions of like how are you guys handling occlusion in Unity actually?
So we actually Unity has its own occlusion system, which works great in like little like windy cave areas, but not great in outdoor system. But we found this plugin, or actually it was part of this mega bundle that Unity has, but there's like this plugin that's some kind of advanced occlusion, and that somehow automatically does it based on geometry or the camera. I don't know how it works exactly.
I mean,
but
so there's like
I tasked my optimizer person to like open that package and like figure it out. So
it's like there's several different
LODs
ways
or
of
something.
handling it. Sorry, what, Johnny?
I was just gonna say probably LODs or something. That's usually how I've handled.
yeah, well, mine has. Well, if you look on the video, it actually shows them like occluding the object, so it actually turns off like way more than Unity's normal occlusion does.
Oh, really?
But yeah, my game does like use billboards a lot for distant objects, which is really that's where my style comes in working well, because like the billboards at any kind of distance look almost as good as like the 3D objects, because everything.
Yeah, it's
is
not really
made to look
occlusion though.
like
That's
the
just
flat
lotting,
style.
you know. I mean,
Ah,
occlusion.
yeah.
I mean like fully getting rid of things that aren't being drawn.
But yeah, that's what that other thing
Mhm.
that I have, the advanced occlusion
Yeah.
plugin. But
So there's like several different ways you can do it in Unreal, right? So there's like the basic one that's built in that works on like anything that's not Vulkan,
Mhm.
but it doesn't work on Quest
yeah,
Oh, boy.
for whatever reason. And then if you turn on Vulkan, it's the normal hardware the hardware occlusion doesn't work at all. So you have to turn on software occlusion, but then you have to specify like your own occluders, which you can use static meshes for that. But like if you just use like even LOD models, it takes like 5 milliseconds of time to just occlude objects. which is obviously not tenable. So we've gone through and made like extremely simplified versions of all of our buildings. They're like
Nice.
some of the building, like one of the biggest buildings in the town is like 30,000 triangles. It's a lot. And then like the simplified version is like less than 500.
Nice.
And then you
Yeah,
put
what I'll
that
do sometimes is
inside
make
of the other building
billboards.
and use that as an occluder.
Yeah, what I'll do sometimes to make billboards is I'll take a model like of a building or a tree or something. I'll put it in an empty scene with just like a a lime green background, like a green screen, and I'll put an orthoscopic view and just take a picture from it from like 2 angles and make a billboard out of that. And it looks pretty good from like a good distance. At least for my game style, I don't know how much how good it'll look on a realistic one, but I imagine because using a screenshot of the actual object, it should be pretty decent.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine too. I mean, a lot of our lotting stuff is all like handled automatically by Unreal anyway, because they have their built-in lot generator thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's going pretty good though. Pretty excited about it.
Loving it.
And our guy who's programming the AI just showed me some cool stuff the other day. Like he got it where like the NPCs can like find locations and like go to sleep and shit like that. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be fun.
So is it
And
like
give
a
them,
full-on
like-
is it a scheduling system like the Elder Scrolls? Like, do they have like a routine you're going to give them, or?
That's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, like it seems like he didn't
Okay.
understand that when I was explaining to him to begin with. He
Sure.
was like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
can have like these different places, and they can like make decisions." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it has to be tied to game time because like
Right.
we have like the day-night system, so and you can access that from anywhere because you just cast to the game instance. But like
Yeah.
if they shouldn't be going to bed if it's like fucking noon, or if they're running a shop and like there's customers there. Like fuck this guy, you take whatever you want, I'm out."
Or if they're the village game developer, they just don't sleep and they're always at their table. Like,
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I might program myself into the game and just make it where it's just a guy that sits and just like writes and never stops.
I love it.
that'd be awesome.
And he should be like writing like a clothing system, like a pants wearing system or something.
Yeah.
You zoom in close, he's just got a quill and a piece of paper, but he's drawing pants.
Right.
Yeah, and
Throwing that
if you
trash
talk to
bin.
me, he's like, "Go away! I'm making 900 pants."
Right.
You get close enough and a text bubble pops up 901.
Right.
902, 903. Yeah, it's a lot.
Pretty good.
So many pants.
It all comes from the fact that we didn't have a lot of models for pants, so I just had to make a lot of variations of pants.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted clothing to be varied, like armor. There's like several different sets of armor that are very defined in their characteristics. Like the mithril shit has like a slightly blue tint to it, and it's like kind of like a chainmail kind of shit, sort of. But then like for regular clothing, we only had like several, like I don't know, 10 like kinds of pants. It's just not enough. If we're gonna have like we're gonna at minimum have like 119 characters, obviously, because there's 119 buildings.
Right.
More likely, we're gonna have like 250. So we're gonna have to find a way to dress these fucking guys,
Fair. Fair.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
and not everyone
But
can
in
be wearing
my
armor.
town, I have like the random NPCs walking around. What I had is I just attached a script on them that because I have like the female ones, I'll load some male ones too, but it picks between 2 different like meshes that they have for their clothes and then changes like the texture color randomly of their clothes, randomizes their eye color, randomizes their hair color, and bam, we got a randomized NPC. Now we got varied NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
I need to buy the pack with the different hairstyles too, so I can randomize their
But
hairstyle.
can your like can those NPCs like can you kill the NPCs in town and then take their stuff?
No, because it would just screw up the story. But
Sure.
they just say random barks that have to do with like the area that they're in, and then
No.
well, and then I have the other shop NPCs, and you can buy things from, and they can give you quests and stuff.
Like I wish I could do
yeah.
things much more randomly because like that's the thing, you have to like take everything off of every person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Elder Scrolls. If you kill someone, you got to be able to take his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And there's
yeah. See, with mine, like, yeah, I have like a really simple like ingredient system. So,
Yeah.
and then like the enemies, like the weapons they drop are just the weapons they're holding. But, I don't know. I may come up with some kind of thing where you can loot the enemies. I also want to have chests. I got this nice asset where these
That's
nice
cool.
treasure chests, and then there's also variations where they're mimics and they got the full attack and death animation. So
Oof.
I get that thing. You go
Bastard.
and you open up the chest, or you think you open up the chest, and then all of a sudden it goes and tries to.
Oh,
eat
I think
you.
I know who that's from. That's from they're the same people who made like that Medusa fucking pack, right?
Yeah. Because it was in
I
a
have
humble
some of their
bundle. Yeah, I
assets,
picked that up. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have some good stuff. Like their humans were a little too like realistic, but I think I'm gonna use
Yeah.
some of their other stuff.
I think mimics
I'm
are so
considering
stressful.
finding like different models for characters, but I don't know. They're fine with what they
That's
are.
the because that's really the only thing that's like recognizable out of the polygon ones. Because I mean,
Yeah, it
otherwise
really
it's like
is.
a sword's a sword.
Right.
But like when you see those guys and you see like those big eyebrows, like, and it is.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that just use them
Yep.
and don't. Well, the sci-fi one especially, there's just like some crap stuff out there where they just throw
Mhm.
the sci-fi sample scene and don't put any
Right.
effort. So there's some too many people have like seen those. So when they see those big eyebrows, it's kind of like a turn on. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize it was the big eyebrows until like the other guy that came on with me. He was using them for like a Western game. But he was like, "Yeah, I didn't want to use the characters because you can always recognize those big eyebrows." And I was like, "It is the eyebrows that makes them look standing out. If you just change that, like no one would even like realize."
Yeah,
Right.
it's a simple enough change.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Mimic Chess, but I've been playing Ancient Dungeon, just came out, and in that game, I always fucking forget that that's a possibility, and it always scares the shit out of me. Like,
Right. Yeah. I think Dark Souls fucked me up pretty much with that too. I can't imagine doing that in VR, right? Like in Dark Souls, I was nervous walking up to chests. So in VR, oh man, I'd lose it.
yeah, it's
So, like, I don't know if you played the Kid Icarus for the 3DS. They have like mimic chests too, but their mimic chests have like sexy lady legs that kick you.
that wouldn't be so bad in VR. Maybe I don't know.
Luckily, I'm not doing any mimic chests. I'm not gonna have mimics.
Thank you. Those always like creep me out.
I don't know, I feel much better about the pricing we're gonna put my game at now that like I've seen Blade and Sorcery come out and I've seen Ancient Dungeon come out. Like for what those games are, I think my price tag of $30 is gonna be fucking fine.
yeah. Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
so.
one for like with a lot of content and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're also thinking about too, like maybe this is something we could talk about too, because like I don't know if you guys seen a couple days ago, John Carmack said that on App Lab we're getting access to in-app purchases soon.
Right.
Yeah.
For the
Mhm.
guerrilla
Nice.
attack thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like, I'm trying to think about like how if it would be a reasonable thing to include something like that in the game. Like from the start, we didn't design the game to have any kind of microtransactions or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
designed so that we might have DLC one day, but like
Mhm.
we were thinking about it and we're like, so what could we do? Like XP boost maybe, and that's like fucking it.
Sure.
I mean, maybe those
I-
900
I would say
pants are
the
12
DLC,
cents.
yeah. Extra armor pack. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
but that's more
second round of
DLC. That's not
pants.
really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make some cool
Like one thing,
versions of the
one thing
armor.
I'm pretty certain we're gonna do is like after the game launches, we're gonna like $5 and you get like 30 more dungeons you can do or some shit like that.
Right.
A shit
Yeah,
like
I
that's
was-
easy to do.
Right.
Well,
Once you have the systems in place, it is. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, depending on how well it sells too. Like we plan on expanding the city out to what it's supposed to be, which is 15 fucking districts, which is we
Nice.
couldn't afford that at the time.
And the 119 buildings is just one district.
Yeah, that's just one district. That's the old district. Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Did Justin fucking die? What happened?
I was curious what you guys think of this,
Maybe.
but again, as a gamer, from my viewpoint, Wookie and I have talked about this for years and in length. And certain games wouldn't fit this, but games that you could have let the player create quests and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
user generated content. Like, what are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
a great
that's specific.
idea, but I mean, there's already a lot of things that do that.
Mhm.
I mean, you can create shit in like Roblox and the fucking Facebook Horizon shit. Well, sorry,
I'm just
Meta
talking, like,
Horizons.
Actual quests. Like, we play a lot of GTA still, and
Mhm.
Wookie's made like hundreds of tracks, and they're awesome.
Right.
But it'd be really nice to go in there and be able to
Right.
set up points and stuff and actually make literal
Mhm.
quest lines and things like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
think,
yeah, I mean, like That'd be really cool to be able to do for like modding, but like
I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey did that, or one of the Assassin's Creed recently had like a mission builder type thing inside the game.
I never heard of that. That'd be
I don't know
great.
how I would enable something like that on Quest though. You know,
Right. I don't know
Like,
if
it'd be
it's a
pretty hard.
possibility or.
Well, like the World War One planes game, you have to have the Steam version, and they have a level builder there you can upload, and Quest users can download that map.
I don't know. Like the
But-
closest thing we fucking have to that is like the entirety of the system from Medieval Designer is probably going to make its way into Heartlands at some point. So like you'll be able to buy a house and just decorate shit, you know,
Nice.
something like that.
The funny thing is, when talking about before we leave this topic of like GTA, the problem I have with them is like the missions aren't ever randomized or scripted.
Right.
It's like
right.
Yeah.
a little bit of randomization, like, you know, scatter it a little bit, and you could have infinite replayability. And then the mission builder they do have, it's
Just realized I was on mute this whole time.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What the fuck happened? Did you fucking die?
you just fell over dead.
Well, first my
Um,
wife was like asking me what I wanted like for dinner because she's going to get pho. So I put it on mute and like put my headset down. I was like, "Are you dead?" And then I was like, "Oh no, I came back to life." But then like never ignored
Yeah, I
me.
didn't hear
I'm
you.
a ghost. I'm out of phase.
But like, if GTA's mission builder, if you'd made like, I don't know, I had a handful of changes to make, like if 5 different changes, you could rip off like old Rainbow Six games and then Battlefield games. Like you could remake like any game type from popular shooter games in GTA, and it's like, why don't more people go after that? Because it makes it infinitely replayable.
That would be pretty cool if it was like a dedicated specific type of game. Like if you had like just the first person shooter and you had an editor that was just to make like custom first person shooters. I think that could do well. Because I mean, with there's like Neos and VR chat, but those are so like broad. They're not really focused. And they're not really made to be a shooter. Like people don't have health and things like that. So
Right. Well, GTA just seems a waste. You got that like that crazy cool map, and like I've made like the Rainbow Six games, and those games, you got like five on five, and you got to be slow because there's no respawns. You're just a spectator when you're done, and it's like stealth, and you're trying to find the counter terrorist unit or whatever's going on. But like after like 5 minutes, it pings all the like everyone shows up on the map because they don't want the games to take 20 minutes. Ruins the like. Turn that off. You need to have Rainbow Six, and it'd be like, damn, like what? It's such a
have
waste.
You seen that one
opportunity.
guy, Ryan? He's making that golf game on the Quest, and he actually has like he's working on a golf course editor for his like golf game.
That's cool.
So people will be able to make golf courses, and then
You mean the guy from Pro Putt?
yeah, was it Pro?
Yeah.
the one that has like the Callaway like thing.
Yeah,
going on with his golf
Ryan
game, too?
Engel. Ryan Engel.
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's working on like a level editor for his game, and he wants to make it so that like after you make a golf course, you can actually export it to a file. So not only can like other, you can share it with people, but he's like, maybe other people that make golf games will use the same file type, so you can use my thing for like all kinds of golf course like games. So
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
yeah,
I think
You can make a
and
big.
anything like Minecraft, there's like
Wang.
all those rip off Minecraft games, and you can still use like the actual Minecraft levels in them.
right. Yeah, that was
I
one of
remember
my
downloading
initial.
one on my phone before I bought the real one.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to do with GBF. I wanted to have like a gun builder thing, and like using
Nice.
JSON, it actually makes a lot of those things easy. I think it's probably gonna have to wait, but I still think that'd be such a cool thing to be able to like make your own gun, like change the skin, change the firing rate, all that stuff like that. The angles it shoots. Yeah, I thought that's one of the things I did want to do. We'll see. But
You could even randomize it like what's the cell shaded game?
Oh,
If there's a cell
Borderlands.
shade- Yeah, Borderlands.
oh, for sure.
Once you get that
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
you can just like make random crap. Like you got a
Yeah.
fork that shoots shotgun shells. Or something.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
You can just have like the base of the gun, and you just socket each piece onto it.
Right.
And then it won't
Oh,
work until
yeah.
all pieces are socketed on, and each
Oh,
time you socket a piece on, that alters like the stats somehow. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I dig that.
And then makes it heavy, and too many things make it hard to hold or
Mhm.
something.
Right.
Or you can like, put like the stock that has like more ammo, but like it slows down the fire rate or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty.
And it
Absolutely.
blows up in your hand.
Right.
It goes blind from the gunpowder. Like,
Flashbang my own self.
Oh man. Mm-hmm. I think those are cool. I don't know if you remember, there's a game called True Crime Streets of LA, and New York.
Yeah,
And they had like randomized crimes, and I think I think it's weird considering true crime doesn't exist anymore. GTA doesn't tap into that because I think it was always fun reading people's stories about playing true crime and like, oh yeah, I was chasing down this dude on a motorcycle and he like had kidnapped somebody and then he drove and in the middle of the street got hit by a bus. Like, I don't know. I thought that it made me laugh, right? So yeah, I think it.
There's some
That game
cool
was
stuff
a
you
lot
can do
of
with
fun,
randomization shit like that. But if you do it badly, you end up with repetitive shit like what's in Skyrim.
That's fair. That's fair.
But then, like, I mean, it's just a shame to, like GTA's map. I mean, it still looks so fantastic, and it's like you got little heist missions where you might, hack into a camera. Make every camera hackable and put like stuff in there. Plan your own heists on the fly,
right?
And I'd still be playing that all day, every day. I would waste my life playing that. So I'm glad they don't have it.
That's pretty cool. Like GTA meets Payday, but it's random spots around the city. That'd be about awesome.
Yeah. Or like, if you got 4 people and you're like, well, there is a bank over there and there's stuff in the bank. So if you plan out, like you could do the hacking mini games to get into the cameras and somebody else is telling you where the guards are and you're looking in the window and somebody just goes and takes it, get some heist
instead of
vehicles.
specifically like having to like choose like a bank heist. Like if it was just like, there's a bank, let's heist it. Like, it's there ready to be heisted.
But like, you'd still have to, you build them in such a way that like you have to have a getaway vehicle. And that means people would have to go kind of steal that vehicle or find one like it or already own one, and you just stage it. And you could just not have to have any sort of menu. You just walk in and like kind of like Galactic Bar Fight. There's no menu.
Right.
You just walk in and rob the bank, but you got to do your prep. Otherwise it's not going to work. It'd be crazy.
It reminds me of that game Streets of Rogue that I really like a lot. It's like just like an overhead like pixel game, but yeah, that game's a blast. Like you can there's like a ton of different classes and each of them has just like crazy different abilities. There's all kinds of different items. Like you can hack computers and make like the security cameras and the machine guns inside the buildings like attack their owners or like like put poison in.
That's great.
And
Right.
you could be like a body snatcher where you're like a little like amorphous thing that hops in people's heads and takes over their
Right.
Wow. I haven't seen that.
vampires, werewolves, like whatever you could think of. You could be in that game. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that game is a blast for sure.
It just came to Game Pass, so I played like the first mission, just running around doing. It's really fun.
Yeah, you should play a PJ. I think it's even better co-op. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, does it have online multiplayer? Or it should.
I thought it was 4-player.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
It's definitely 4-player local. I played on the Switch at work with some friends, and that was nuts. But and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, if it's online co-op, yeah.
Because it's cool. You play co-op because if you have different classes, you can kind of like plan them together. Like, you hypnotize this guy and I'm going to go take care of this guy. Things like that. Yeah, there's like all kinds of different possibilities.
Yeah.
I think that's like a great example of like roguelike, how they kind of give you like different opportunities to use like different abilities. We kind of want to do that a little bit in our game too. We were talking about how like some of our things are going to be kind of open-ended. Like there's going to be like a strength potion that you could drink to become stronger, but there's also going to be random chickens walking around. And if you smash the strength potion on the chicken, it becomes a giant like buff, like anthropomorphic chicken that follows you around, helps you fight till it dies.
I love that.
And we're not going to tell the player that you could do that. So, they're just going to randomly smash it on a chicken. Cause they're going to be like, when we give the player the potion, be like, this will give you strength, but just be careful where you get it. Cause it'll affect anything. And then we'll just let them go crazy with that.
Yeah, like,
I fucking love this idea. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then, probably if you accidentally use it on the enemy, maybe it'll increase their size by like a factor of like 30% or something, increase their strength. Because I added recently so that like when enemies spawn in, it actually randomizes their size and you could put like how much percentage it can go up or down by. And their stats actually scale too based on that. So that kind of added a little
Oh, shit.
like variety.
Oh, that's wild.
If you hit an enemy with that potion and they get bigger, do you get better loot?
Yeah, probably. Because you know what I did? I got to do this with the people too. But what I did with like the koi fish was like how much scales, and I'll probably add fish meat too because you're killing like the fish makes sense. But how much you get is based on their size. So I'll probably add that too, where like the drop is scales up based on their thing. But right now we just have like the ingredients. I don't know if we're gonna have them drop items too or how we'll handle that. But Or there'll probably be like some ingredients are more rare than others too. That'll be like they do that in like RPGs a lot. You feel something you don't know what to drop.
Very cool.
I still got to build out the leveled lists for my game. So like, I don't know. Did I explain to you guys like how like building the houses works? So like I have a randomization type of thing that I built, years ago for a different thing, where like, so like when we're designing the inside of these houses, right? If it's like a shop, right? We place dummy items instead of actual fucking items, right? And based on game time, like if like a week goes by in game, what's inside of that shop would change, like what's on the shelves itself.
Oh, nice.
And then you could do the same thing with like a normal house in the city, like where some guy lives, because if you go into any RPG like now, usually what you find is like, oh, they have grapes and cheese on their table, and that's always what it is.
It never goes bad.
Yeah, it never goes bad. Yeah, and we're changing
they never
that.
Eat
so
it,
like we're changing that. So like every few days, what's in their house will change because people don't fucking live in static environments.
True.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
It's a super simple system.
Awesome.
I'd like to see that in action too, because I've worked out a way to. I haven't really built that in Unity or anything like that yet, but like to randomly, like procedurally generate that stuff. So you walk into a room like this room, it's got clutter and all this stuff. This room doesn't, and make that scalable. So
I wouldn't
really
use the
nailed
word
it.
procedural because that's an ugly word to a lot of people. But yeah, basically.
Houdini's pretty good for a lot of that stuff, actually.
Yeah, Houdini's great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Probably gonna do something very similar with dungeon stuff. I mean, like already, like we need lists of stuff for chests. Like right now, every chest in the game has the same shit in it because we haven't gone through and fucked with it. But like you open up a chest and it opens up, and then the same menu that's on the player is on the chest as well. It just floats up above it. So
yeah, I saw that in your video. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that video for what it was. Like I put that shit together in like just a few hours.
Huh?
I didn't have time to do anything else, unfortunately. I don't know. It seemed like it did
it came out
okay.
pretty well.
Yeah, I liked it.
It looked great, yeah. Did we all feel pretty good about our pitch to game videos? I was pretty happy with mine. I think felt like the reception was pretty.
I liked
Yeah,
it a lot. It was
decent,
nice. You had
yeah.
like a whole like voiceover, and yeah, it was good. Like a robot. It was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it came out great. I was pretty happy with mine, but like I wasn't like 100% happy. It was like I kind of took the one that I did earlier in my voice, and then like kind of like had to move stuff around, and I don't know, it could have been better, but I was like, screw it, I got better, more important things to do. Like I can't win the
Fair.
contest twice, so just
Right.
throw this out there. But yeah, people liked it. I posted some other places, and everyone's getting into it. Like on Reddit, someone was like, "Hey, you should post this on the Ghost of Tsushima subreddit." So I did, and everyone liked it.
Oh,
But I think
okay.
because they're expecting a certain thing on that specific subreddit, the only thing they were
Yeah.
into was like the anime girls. They were like, "Oh, everything looks so beautiful." And then there's like the stereotypical anime girls. And at first, I was like, no one's ever complained about that. Now I'm like, oh, you know what? They're expecting everything to look like Ghost of
Right.
Tsushima, and that's like the only thing that doesn't. So that's why they're.
Kinda wonder if I
that's
could,
why
like-
that bothers them.
I don't wonder if I could like post my shit in the Elder Scrolls subreddit without getting in trouble.
Probably not. They're Reddit, like the mods and stuff. They love like developers because it's more interesting stuff than like the other like crappy.
Right.
I would just do it. Worst thing that they'll do is pull it down. Like.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus like the 15th, where does ebony armor drop, or where does the mithril armor drop post? Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We
Yeah,
didn't
I feel
really,
like I'm doing
really
good.
write
My
topics for
Reddit
this week.
feedback is getting less and less like negative. So
Yeah, I'm definitely a lot more positive this time than the first time I posted shit on there.
Mhm.
Like the first time it was like, this all looks the same, blah blah blah. It's all
Mhm.
the same fucking developers using the assets, and they're never any different. And it's all early production stuff. It's like, what the fuck? Like you see the fucking gameplay, dickhead. What the hell? It's not like it's a fucking asset flip. Oh, I put some assets on a level. Here it is. No, like you
Yeah.
see shit moving around, fucking ass. I
Yeah.
I know,
fucking
that's
hate
why
Reddit
people are like, it looks like some people be like, oh, it looks like Blade and Sorcery of mods. It's like, dude, Blade and Sorcery, like the combat is like one part of the game, but like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
like the real hook is that it has like all these RPG features and it's an expansive world, and that's like nothing like Blade and Sorcery. And plus when you get into it, like Blade and Sorcery like the enemies can kind of ragdoll any time. Like you can grab them and just
Yeah.
like chuck them.
Right.
Like they're really loose. Like my guys, they're until you kill them, they stand on their own 2 feet. You can't just like walk up to them or
Right.
they'll fuck you up.
Yeah, like
I-
I love Blade and Sorcery, and I was quite worried about it when they announced that it was coming to Quest. I was like, am I like fucked now? Like that was my first thought.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Me too.
yeah, but also like no, really, because like Blade and Sorcery is fantastic, but you know they don't fucking have like real RPG features and like NPCs that like you can talk to and get quests from and shit like that. They don't have like a shop system or anything like that. Repairable
Yeah.
gear, nothing like that. It's just,
I gotta
it's
try
just,
it, but from what I heard, it's basically like a way better version of Gorn. It's just like kind of an arena fighter.
yeah.
It's just
It
Yeah.
is.
the arenas are better
that's all
and you
it
can
is.
do more. Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, it's just
So, I mean-
it's just extremely physics based, which is great. But
Sure.
my combat's never going to be that because
Right. Right. Yeah, I get it.
Nah.
Yeah.
I was.
And
That's
the
one-
new update for dungeons gives you a reason you can like sneak through and stuff. But
Okay.
honestly, like I've had that game for a long time, and I haven't played it forever. Like,
yeah.
it's cool for what it is, and it is like Gorn, like a more grown-up version of Gorn. But like, I'd rather have quests and a story and
Right.
leveling things up or whatever.
Atmosphere and just
Right.
a nice
Yeah.
place to exist
yeah,
for
like
half an
tossing
hour.
around ragdolls is
Right.
fun, but like only for so long. Like,
Right. Right. I definitely think that's one thing. Like, even with GBF, definitely like I guess the kind of achievements and stat system. I guess kind of like that deeper stuff. I think that's kind of the hardest thing I think to communicate sometimes. Do you guys feel that way? Like the deeper
that is
stuff in your
too,
game?
and the thing is too is like, do I want to make a video where they're just walking in and talking to a shopkeeper and buying something? Like that's like a cool
Right.
feature that does make the game stand out, but it's not the hottest video, the best, the what you
Yeah.
when it shows like the
I've had
blood
that a
flying
lot.
everywhere. So that's kind of why I put that other video together where I'm like, let me just freaking verbally tell them exactly what's in the game so there's no like
Right.
misunderstanding. Like,
Right. Right.
So-
Like,
right.
that's why I tried to do my I have one video just called A Couple Quests, and it's like 8
Mhm.
minutes long, and it just takes you through the vertical slice town. I don't know if you guys have
That's
seen that.
Yep.
But like,
That's
yeah,
cool.
like
Yeah.
you start in the town, and you go into a house, and the guy's like, "My wife is sick. Can you help me out and find a potion?" And so you go and you talk to the alchemist, and he's like, "Well, I have one ingredient you could buy, but I don't have the other one. You can find it growing in town, and this last one you can find below the well. If you go take a look down there, try to find my friend Emilius because he's gone missing last time we went down there." So then you fucking go down into the well and you get the ingredient and you turn around and then Emilius is fucking dead there. So you get his book and you can take it back to the alchemist and like you can pick the ingredient in town. But then you go back to the alchemist and you try to buy the ingredient, but you don't have enough gold. So you go and you're like, well, shit. And you go and talk to the guard captain, and he's fucking lazy. He's like, go repair my shit. I'll give you some gold. So that's when you figure out how you can repair shit. You can repair his shield and the fucking his sword, and that gets
Nice.
you like enough gold to buy the other ingredient. So then you make the fucking potion, and you can take it, or you can sell some of the stuff that's there, and then you take the potion back to the guy and get your quest reward. It shows off everything in the fucking game. But like the watch time on that video is little to none because people have a short
Right.
short fucking attention
yeah,
span.
because people
Yeah.
don't want to sit for 8 minutes. But I think that is
Yeah.
like a good video. But if you just cut it down to like a minute or 2 minutes, like I think it would.
But how do you do that with
Yeah.
leaving everything in it? Like that's like my thought.
Well, I mean, you explained it to us in only like a minute or so. So like you just
True.
gotta
You'd have to like
show
cut-
show
and jump
enough
around,
that they
yeah.
can
Put
see
cuts and
in your
stuff, yeah.
explain.
Yeah, I guess so. I might try that, but I don't know. Seems difficult.
When you get in your community manager, you gotta have them do it. That's like
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Maybe make
Yeah, when I was
the
talking to the
dirty
VC,
version
he was like,
where-
"I noticed in your budget you don't have like a community manager," and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "I was just gonna do that stuff and submit it to like Steam for the publishing." He's like, "No, you should be making games like with get someone else to do this." Like,
Yeah, that's kind of like what my my business partner did. I was talking to him, and I was like, I could do this and this and this. And he was like, why don't you have a fucking person for that? I was like, because you didn't give me enough money for that.
Right.
And then he was like, fucking hire someone. If it makes things faster, we'll fucking spend the money. I was like, all right.
Mhm.
So yeah. Still haven't gotten the contract done for my fucking audio guy. The guy making sound effects. But I'll get to that eventually, I guess. Pain in the ass.
Speaking of sound effects, I'd say just do the quick, dirty version of the video where your character spits on his hand and drops down for. Never mind.
Where the fuck is this going?
Instead of doing all
Well.
that 8 minutes
Oh
of
my.
stuff, you cut to the chase to get the gold.
Oh my.
Right.
That's going to be a fun recording session to make those sound effects, I guess.
What the fuck is this DMOS game we're talking about? With its goo physics?
Everywhere. Yeah.
It just so
physics,
happens
yeah.
I have some audio that I could loan you.
I don't want your audio from that. I'm good.
Oh, that's good.
I worked really hard on it.
I'm sure you
Oh
did.
my.
I'm good. I'll pass.
Oh my god! Just sit over here.
Oh man, locally sourced and all that. Is it that?
Holy shit.
What's the genital kind of word that can be mixed with farm?
Genital farm.
Yeah, fair. A little on the nose.
Baby arm to table.
Yeah, so, man. Oh boy.
I think you've lost some of your spiciness there, Robert. What you've done.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been feeling weird these past few weeks.
Yeah, I
you're getting
joined-
good positive feedback, and you're changing. It's good.
Yeah,
Don't like
right?
it.
He's outgrown us. He's outgrown us.
After last month's roundtable, I was like, I need to get on Twitter to catch some of this stuff. I haven't seen hardly any spicies.
Yeah, I've been avoiding it a little bit. Like I've typed out several things. I'm like, I've gotten like 50 new followers this month. Maybe I shouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm creeping up on 2K followers right now. I think
That's
I'm at
cool.
like
I
1970.
got 365.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
And one really cool thing I'm pretty excited about actually soon is, you know, I just got the B Haptics vest too. Like they
Oh,
they,
yeah.
sent, they
Oh,
sent me
yeah.
that as well.
Mhm.
Johnny, have you talked to the people at B Haptics? Because your thing's on App Lab, right?
It is. Oh, I didn't even think to do that. Actually, that would be neat, huh?
Yeah,
That's
like
act-
you like they're like talking to them. Their whole thing is like they're not giving dev kits to anyone that is just like, oh, I'm making a game. They want you to have a fucking game out. So like their requirement for me is like, in order to put it in Heartlands, I have to put it in Medieval Designer.
Right.
I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do that. They're like, oh, you can like put haptics for when you close a door. I was like, fucking okay, I guess. Whatever gets me a dev kit for Heartlands.
But like a loud like noise, see like a bass like boom.
I'm a big-
Right? You close the door hard enough, you know, you slam it, it shakes everything.
they're like, hey, they were like, there's plenty of opportunities for this. I'm not so sure I believe that, but I got a
Right.
dev kit and it's pretty fucking cool. Like they sent me the
Nice.
they sent me the arm thing, like the arm haptics. It like goes right here. That's gonna be fucking sick for casting spells in Heartlands.
Yeah,
awesome.
I like.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is gonna be cool. Yeah, I can't wait to get
I gotta
that. 'cause
say
I'm-
too, like, go ahead, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying I'd be excited to get it for my game too. Like when people get hit and stuff, slashed.
Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
dope.
That's super neat.
Yeah, that's the whole plan. Like I gotta say, like so far I've tried it like with the audio to haptics and Beat Saber, and it's
Mhm.
not good at all.
That's
Mhm.
Just because you know it's like it's not
Right.
direct supported. It's
Yeah.
audio to haptics, so it just
Right.
vibrates the whole fucking vest,
oh well.
and
yeah.
it doesn't
It's
feel
like you're laying on a bass speaker or something.
exactly.
Right.
It's not good. So and then I tried it in Zero Caliber as well.
Mhm.
And like their implementation for like the arms is really good. You feel haptic feedback, like your gun's
Mm.
kicking back, right?
Mhm.
But then, like, okay, so if you guys were gonna do haptics with like a vest, right? When you get shot, like in the chest,
Right.
where
Your
do you
front-
think? Where should you feel vibrations?
For your shot.
your trust? Yeah. Right.
Exactly. That's what I would think too.
Right.
They fucking send the vibration all the way through you as if the bullet's passing through your body,
Nice.
Oh,
which is cool. It's very cool. Like it goes like
Wow.
you'll feel it on your front and your back. That's cool. I've never been
Right.
shot, but I'm guessing you know.
right.
Anyway,
Maybe, I would say
ballpark,
only for like the
right.
death kill, maybe, and I don't know.
Oh, I
like
get
have it like
that.
kind of
Yeah.
like a little bit of offset so you can tell.
The
what it is.
problem
But yeah,
with
I wouldn't
that-
do it.
The problem with that though is if like the whole point of
It's
haptics. Do what?
Oh, I said it's confusing.
Exactly. Like I was getting
Right.
shot in the front, and I would be like feeling it on my back, and I'd turn around like,
Right.
is someone behind me? But no, there fucking
Yeah.
wasn't.
I see that.
It's bad.
I see
It's
it.
really fucking
Right.
bad design. I haven't
I
tried
see
it in
that.
contractors yet. And I need to.
Right.
Like if someone hits me with a fucking spell like in my
Right.
chest, I'm not gonna put it on my back.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. Mm-hmm.
Unless you
It
had some
feels-
kind of, depending on how detail you got, they could start right here, then kind of like wash over your body. But
Yeah,
like,
that would be
Right.
pretty cool.
Be
Like
all
one
at
thing I
once.
really
Right.
want to, I plan on doing is like, I just got the SDK, so like I
Mhm.
don't know how well I can make certain areas. Like I don't know if I told you guys about like how I plan on using different things. So like the things I thought about immediately was like when you put on like a chest piece, it should vibrate like the entire chest, right?
For sure. Right.
As like,
Yeah.
but it won't do it all at one time. It'll be like
Right.
you were putting on a shirt, right? You'd feel,
I like that.
vibrations.
It's like slide.
Oh, like it
right.
washes
Yeah,
down
you'd feel
over you.
vibrations going
That's
down
really
your
neat.
chest. Yeah,
I like that. hmm
that and like so when you drink a potion, what is happening?
Whoa.
And
Oh,
there
what
goes
happened?
Tab.
Tab, are you alive?
I'm like outside. Where am I at? I try to walk through my
Yeah.
Guardian to go get a beer with the headset still on. like it-
Oh,
The app didn't like that.
yeah.
you
You went
were-
full
you were kinda-
exorcist, like in the
You
air,
were
floating.
giving Johnny a
What
little
happened?
show over there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hey, we're close, but hey.
Yeah.
Buy me a drink first, guy. Yeah.
I mean, that's he was going to get you a drink, you know.
Yeah, no,
about-
fair. All right, fair. All
Talk
right.
about pitch a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pitch your tent.
Oh,
Alright.
pretty.
So the other shit you can do with fucking haptics, though, back to the fucking point, is like so you can drink potions in the game, right? Are you handling that actually too, Justin?
The potions?
Yeah, are you
Oh.
having a thing where you can like uncork a potion and drink it?
I'm not sure I'm gonna do potions yet. I have like a food system, but basically you just put it to your mouth and then it like takes out of your hand and makes a chomping noise. I'm gonna have a
Makes
little
sense.
like food flying out particle effect. But yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna do the potions. I do want to get.
Well,
at
I
least
mean,
for the
drinks
PC
at all.
VR, I don't
like
know if it work on
a
the
fucking
Quest,
beer
but-
or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have potions in the game for sure because crafting's gonna be part of it. But I don't know if I'm gonna have. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna have like those little shaders where it looks like there's liquid in it. I don't know
Yeah.
if that'll make it to the Quest version or not, but definitely the PC version.
Mhm.
And then
I
I
had
know when
something
you,
like
you
that
throw it
years
on
ago,
things, it's
but I
gonna
don't know if it's
shatter
gonna
like
make it.
glass. But yeah, I haven't figured it out. I may have the player drink it. It probably depends on what shader packs I have and how hard it is. Like I
Yeah.
kind of pick if it's really complicated to have a. No, I probably won't. Just check the angle on it, and as soon as it hits that angle, like they consume it.
Yeah. Like mine just
I'll probably do
works.
it
It's
like
literally just you check the angle, and if it's in like a box, I have a collision box where the player's mouth is, and it's just that.
Yeah, I have a sphere.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing, but
that makes
Yeah. So so like when you drink a potion though, like I could make it where like it flows down your chest, right? Like into your stomach, like
Yeah.
little tiny vibrations, right?
I like that.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
then
it's
like
tingling.
or if you like open up a chest, right? And then when you slam it shut, you'll feel like just a tiny bit of vibration like around your
Right.
hips, right?
Nice.
Just a little bit because like it's like it's hitting the ground and we don't have like
Yeah.
feet fucking haptics, so it's close as I can get. Or like if you pull your fucking like if you open up your inventory, it'll ring out around the entire hip area.
That's
And then if you pull out your sword, it should vibrate on your right hip, right?
mm-hmm.
Or as close as we can get to the right hip. And then if you get a reward, like a piece of gold
Mm-hmm.
or what the fuck ever, it'll vibrate on your left hip, as in if it was like in a pouch or some shit like that.
Dude,
That's dope.
what if you get hit by an arrow and you had to pull it out?
Oh, that's
That'd be
wild.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm not gonna have
Like,
I'm not gonna have archery in my game though. So
Right.
Oh,
Do you have a weather system? Because I think like feeling rain or snow, like
it'd be really
gently,
cool.
like,
Yeah,
that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
wild. Yeah.
I
a bunch of
don't.
little sparkles.
I don't currently have a weather system. I really want to get one in, but I don't know if I can
Sure.
get it in
Right.
before launch. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably a post-launch thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay.
like right now we only have like a day-night system. We don't even have like a day of the week system. So
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
yeah.
We decided the way we're gonna do like day and night, just to keep it simple, is instead of having a day-night cycle, there'll just be some areas that are constantly nighttime and some that are day. And
I mean, that's a
was
simple
like,
way to do it.
You know, what
Yeah.
if, no one will notice if you just walk and then it's all suddenly daytime? Like, then I thought, like, how about if, like,
Right.
areas like that are just
Mhm.
split up by, like, kind of day-night agnostic places? Like, you go through a cave, and when you come out of the cave, that place is
Yeah.
nighttime, or you go through a, a
Right.
hooded forest, and then when you come out, like, it's daytime. So I was like, we can just divide it up like that so it seems a little more natural. Because,
Right.
like, just
I
because the
haven't-
night has such a cool look to it, and so does the day, but, like, the way it's set up, like, the terrain has to be a completely different material. I mean, I guess I could lerp the settings, but I don't know. I don't want
I mean, do you
players
guys
to have to worry
have-
about their time. So,
Do you guys have something like more material parameter collections like what we have in Unreal?
we just call them shader properties, but yeah, I'm sure it's the same
For
thing
sure.
you're talking about.
Right. Yeah,
But yeah,
right,
when we
right.
can
I mean,
even
it's
just
just
put the shader
something you can
properties
like
in like a
change
struct
at
or a
runtime.
class.
You just take
Yeah,
your
yeah.
initial color and multiply it by like a white or a black.
Yeah,
I get it.
well, because of my weird materials, there's a few more things in that. But yeah, it wouldn't be that
Mhm.
hard, and I could just like lerp between the two values to kind of like fade it. But
I mean, are
we
you
already have so
using a
many
master
systems, I don't
material
wanna
for
put-
everything?
What?
Are you using a master
using the
material
same-
for everything?
A master material? No, I don't have like it was like what do they call it? Like the index or whatever. The
Mhm.
Well,
freaking
I mean,
thing.
like,
Are
you using?
I don't have a texture map. No, I don't have it like texture mapped. or
Oh,
I mean, are
right,
you using
right.
one material for every like a different material for every item in the game?
Almost, yeah. Some of them share it, but I do have like an asset that automatically makes like those texture map like giant materials. So
Well, it's not really
it
textures.
runs
It's
through
more
that.
like the actual material itself. Like mine, I have one master material that literally controls everything.
And why
Wow.
you just change the material because I could do that if I wanted
And
to
then
be
material
super efficient. It
instances
would
to
just be a
actually
pain in the
handle-
ass to do.
Right.
Because I could make it so that everything has like one material, and then at runtime I change like the texture, and then I change this and that. But the thing is,
Well,
if I was to do it that way, while it's in editor, it's gonna have like whatever base texture, and I kind of need it to look like it's gonna look like in the
Well, I mean,
game.
we have materials and then material instances. They're different.
Hmm.
So, like, a material is like all
Yeah.
the actual underlying, what it does, and then you like a material instance. You can change all the variables in it, whether it's like for mine, I have like a shadow value, like a depth value.
Oh, okay.
the
So
actual
yeah,
texture, shit
I
like
think
that.
then what you call materials, we would call shaders, and then what you call material instances, what we would call materials. It sounds like
Yeah, that's fair.
because we have
Yeah.
the shader, and that's like all the information that can be on the material, and the
Right.
material itself is the variation of that. It's like that
Right.
shader,
Yeah, that makes
but with
sense.
like
Yeah.
the texture
Right.
plugged in and like the
Right.
shadow value plugged in, all the values.
Yeah.
plugged in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
like with
we
some
have one master material, and then like you can just change shit on it, and it affects everything at once. That's how our day night system works. We
That's
literally
cool,
just tint the entirety of the world darker.
man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a clever way
yeah,
to
I
handle
see what
that.
you're
I like
saying.
that.
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And
Probably would be
that's
like a
the
similar
same way the
solution.
like you guys remember my like torch thing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
It does that in reverse.
Hmm.
So like on the inside of the sphere, it lightens the entire world to an orange color. And then we just put a darkness around the player to make it look like everything outside of it's dark.
I love.
Nice.
I'm a geek for like those game dev cheats. I was mentoring
Yeah.
a dude earlier, and he's trying to work out. Like, do you guys remember Billy Hatcher?
Nah.
I've
so
never
he-
played it myself, but I do know I remember seeing the cover in some gameplay. It's like a kid in a chicken costume, but I don't know anything
Exactly.
else besides that.
Right. And he's pushing like an egg around and stuff, and he's trying to get like really precise like egg rolling physics. And I was like, okay, so the reality is 90% of the time you have to cheat a lot of that shit, right? And especially when it comes to physics, like just the math to figure it out, it's not worth it.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna remember how precise your egg pushing physics were.
Mhm.
Like focus on what matters. And but I'm
Yeah.
such a geek for like those game dev cheats. Like I think the one I remember is like Uncharted. I think it's Uncharted. Like as the enemy's health drops, the enemy's aim gets worse. Like I just like those little things. It's just like,
Yeah.
okay, we
Yeah.
gotta hit a little bit to make sure this experience feels right.
My
And
my
I-
absolute favorite like on my team we call them train hat things. And that's because during the development of Fallout 3, like this is a pretty famous one. You guys might know this one. During the development of Fallout 3, they realized they couldn't do vehicles because like the engine didn't fucking support it, right? So there's a section of the game, right, where you have to ride a fucking metro car to go like somewhere during the fucking game. I don't know if you guys have played Fallout 3 or remember that part. But
Played it, but
if you look at that fucking section in the editor. It's literally a character running at super fucking high speed on the track, and he has like his hat, like slot item hat, is a fucking train car.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we call things like that in my game a train hat hack. Yeah, we got plenty of those.
Like an old
Yeah,
school
sorry.
GoldenEye, the radar was the top of a barrel because they couldn't afford any more objects. So the circular radar is literally the top of one of the barrels you can shoot, or something
I
crazy.
love
Or like in
that.
Mario Brothers, the bushes are the same as the clouds. The bushes
Yeah.
are just green and the
Yeah.
clouds are white.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Amazing.
I know. Actually, like my character, the backpack thing is there's like this dresser, like wardrobe type thing in the game. And I just shrunk that down really small, and that's like the player's backpack.
Like the
pretty
medicine
great.
box they used to wear. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
And then actually, so I have this thing that's for like shattering meshes. But the problem is, unless the mesh is super simple,
Right.
it just kills the performance. So basically, what I do as a hack is when something shatters, another mesh appears for like a split second, and that's what shatters.
Right.
So
Oh,
I have a
that's
ball
right.
for some things, and then the other things is like a lotus flower, just because it has like some nice like shapes in it that break apart.
Mhm.
So like if you're
Right.
watching like super slow motion, like recorded, you could pause it for a second
Yeah.
and see there's actually like a lotus flower when things shatter, but you can't really.
Yeah,
see
that's what
it.
a lot of I feel like a lot of
That's cool.
things do that. Like that's very
Mhm.
similar to how our ingredient harvesting system works. Like when you grab it, you're not actually picking anything off of it. We're literally just replacing one mesh with another.
Mhm.
Yeah, with my enemies too, because like their weapons, because you know what the sword needs to do when the player's holding it is completely different than what the sword needs to do when the enemy holds it. So when the enemy dies, it actually just turns off his sword, then spawns a player's sword right where it was at. And in my original roguelike game, dude, I made it so complicated. I wish I would have thought of that when I was making that. But when the enemy drops like the weapon, it like unchilds it and like removes a bunch of components, adds a
Right.
bunch of other
Mhm.
components, and changes a bunch of stuff to get it ready to be a player weapon. And I could have just had it turn off and replace it with a player weapon. So that was
Right.
like, that's my new
Hey,
game
we're talking
dev
about
trick. Is if you
unneeded
need something,
complexity.
yeah, just replace it.
Dude, like when I was working on the initial save system for Medieval Designer, I did the dumbest shit that I can fucking possibly imagine. I didn't make a function, and you know there's like 70 fucking things in there. So I actually made it where every individual house has its own fucking like array of items.
Wow.
It was a mistake. And then by the time I realized it, I was already working on
Oh, I see.
Heartlands, and
Right.
like I went back and changed it, and it saved like it went from like 80 fucking nodes of code in Blueprint to like 3 fucking nodes. Yeah,
Nice.
and actually that update is literally not even in the game yet because I still haven't put out the update for Medieval Designer. It's gonna like add the ability to build houses and shit. That's
For
one
my
of the
house
things
system.
I'm pretty embarrassed about.
Yeah, for my house system, I have it set up where because I have this nice spawn pooling system where you can actually store a bunch of prefabs and they're just stored under a string. So like basically, when you enter the house, any weapon that's like thrown into the house, in case for some reason the player doesn't want to carry something and wants to throw it through the door like a weirdo, or anything that's in the player's inventory when the player walks in, it's like adds it to like this list. And then when the player leaves the house, you know, anything that's on him gets taken off that list. But basically, from that list, it just saves like the strings of each prefab name, and they're transformed. So when you start up the next game, it just looks at that list that it saved, and it's like, all right, here's this string that goes to this prefab, and here's its transform and rotation. So bam, that one there, that one there.
Yeah.
Just kind of rebuild house up again based on where.
Yeah,
where
that's kind
players
of how
left
the
off.
items work in Medieval Designer. Like it's an array of items and then an array of transforms.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think for me, the thing with GBF, like, well, the first time I tried the AI system, I thought I was brilliant. Now I'm smart. I'm not that smart. So the system, I was going to make this really deep, contextually aware system where the NPCs would be able to stand in place. And until like you shot them or something, they'd have like social behaviors they do. And once like you attack them, then they'd switch to like a set of like combat behaviors. And like, it sounded really good on paper, except it was really complicated to build and like handling like the nav mesh stuff on top of that. It was just a lot. And so I was like, okay, you know what? Then I stripped it down to the GBF, like the one I have in the current update that's on the App Lab, and that's cool. Basically, all the enemies just run immediately to like a space around you. Like there's like little nodes around the map that they go to, and then they attack you from those points. And then at this point, I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a spiral of like spheres around you. They're going to be parented to the player. They're always going to be close to you, and they're always going to be close to you relative to like where these little dots are around the player. And it works a lot better. I think the AI feels better than it did in the previous update. But yeah, it's like, okay, keep it simple. It's stupid. That's what they taught me when I first programmed, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta make some updates to my AI. Right now, what I got is like when, like basically when an AI spots another one, another like enemy, it adds that enemy to its list of, or no, it adds itself to that enemy's list of attackers. And then when that character dies, it clears, it changes the other one back from battle to patrol, which works great. But the thing I didn't realize is that, like if like let's say I'm fighting both of you guys. As soon as you die, that clears my attacker, so then I just forget about him and start walking off until he comes and like slaps me or something, and then I remember I was fighting him. So now I gotta check to make sure that they, you know, that when it clears it, it is like the person that they're actually attacking, and not just another random person that they saw previously. So,
for sure,
little things like that, like you don't notice until you're like testing it. Like,
yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Everything looks good on paper.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, there's always just like more layers. You're like, this is all I need to do, and then you're like, oh no, wait, but what about?
And then you fucking build it, and it's like, fuck,
Right.
there's so much more. Yeah.
Right.
Or you get it on a testers, and like, you know what? I didn't think the players were gonna try to do that weird ass thing.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't prepare for it. Like, oh man, like I sent like a test over to the other guy, the angel investor guy. Like basically, if it doesn't work out with a VC, I'm gonna go with him.
Right.
But either way, you say, "Oh, look at the VC contract for me. Tell me if it looks good or not." But I sent him it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I walked off like the docks of the boat, and I fell underwater, and so then I just wandered all the way out into the boats, and I fell off the edge of the world." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well,
wow."
I don't know. I didn't.
Sure.
First of all, I didn't expect people to jump off the docks, and when they did and fell underwater, I expected them to walk back towards shore and then get back up on the thing. I didn't expect them to wade out into like the obviously nothingness. So I gotta put some invisible walls there. Maybe some safe stays. Maybe like teleport them back. Just have them splash and then come back in.
Sure.
Dude, you should make it like the fucking Mario thing with the infinite stairs.
Yeah,
Right.
I love that. I think about that often. Like, more people need to do that kind of shit. But you could have a DMAW crossover and have a tentacle porn. Like if they walk out into the water too far, they're just like, well, fair game.
Fair game.
You know, you like look down and see what happens to you because you know.
And then, so where does your vest vibrate during that though? Where does?
Only on the
like
nipples.
the haptic briefs, like
the haptic briefs.
Dude, I so bad want a full haptic suit. That'd be so cool.
Gonna have to vibrate your haptic tampon.
Oh,
that's
I don't know if
that's
you know that guy Eric for president. He has like he does his like fireside chats. He interviewed this one girl that she's like her expertise is like VR porn, and they were talking about
Robin.
This is a real word, teledildonics, which is exactly what it sounds like. Basically, you can VR be banging someone, and there will be a VR robot staying in place of you, like on the other end. Like,
Ow! What?
Yep. Yeah, that's Robin's reality. Yeah.
Yeah. She's pretty cool and interesting person.
Yeah, she is. There was that whole thing between her and Lipnox a while back.
Oh yeah.
What is happening with you, Justin? I'm gonna need you to go that way, sir.
First you say
my quest charger is over here.
You had to buy him a drink.
I'm gonna have to fight you off over here. I don't have those haptics
my
right
right
now.
hand. Got my joystick. I'll smooth motion out of your way.
No means no.
Right.
Kind of like how the first quest had a headset jack on each side. I missed that. 'Cause the first quest had a headset jack on the left and right side, but the quest 2 only has it on one side.
Yeah, it's because they had them split, which I don't know. I kind of liked and kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So like my AI programmer, the contractor guy, like I think a lot of people overthink AI in general. Like,
you're right. Very much.
He was like, we don't have animations for like all these different jobs you want people to have. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't need a baker to like put bread in the oven.
Right.
No, he just got to walk around his shop and look at shit, and occasionally like do a fucking animation of him like reading or drinking or something like that.
Right.
Like,
you don't want the knead dough animation? Like that's not a part of the experience.
Like that seems like the kind of animation you use in DMOS game, but for something else.
Right.
So
I
where
picked
the
up
fuck
a
is
free
DMOS?
job animation set on a
Did he
on
forget about us?
Unity, one of the sales. He's too
he's
important
probably-
now with his dozen employees.
True.
I think he hired a guy just to come hang out with us for him, but
That makes sense.
Man, I'm still
He's-
waiting for my like VC guy. It's taking like forever. Like I thought I was gonna be done by now. Like we were supposed to be funded for November. It's like November 4th, and I'm like, where's the money? I told my boss, I'm like, maybe I'll work for a couple more weeks.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, oh, thank goodness. Like,
Oh, well, that works. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. And, mhm.
Yeah,
You
my
just
other
go to-
developer, I ended up paying him a little bit because his cat had ate a squirrel and got all blocked up and needed surgery. So I was like, I'll front you the first little bit, or the first bit, so you can get your cat surgery. So
Right.
yeah, he's done some good work. He's already got me like some of my meshes like fixed up and separated because I got some enemies that like their weapon is the same mesh as like the enemy themselves, and I'm like, well then. How can the player take the weapon and kill other people with it? Like, sharing is
Right.
caring. Like,
Right.
so he went in and separated those meshes for me, and he's working on like the quest optimization, which is nice because I could just make my PC VR version, push my updates, and he can take it and then do whatever he's got to do,
That's
destroy
awesome.
it to work on the quest.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it'll still look pretty good on the quest because like we're gonna have to probably kill the real time lighting, but we got like this fake self shadow on the material, so I think overall it'll still look pretty good on the quest.
Mhm.
Pretty
I think that
optimistic.
if my if this game fails, I think I'll just fucking do consulting for a while.
Uh,
Yeah, put your stuff on the
absolutely.
asset store, dude. Like you could charge
Oh, that
what,
too.
like $100
Yeah.
for like your lighting system,
Mhm.
200. And if you charge per
Yeah.
seat,
Right.
then
Mhm.
and a big company
Mhm.
buys it, that's a lot of seats. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. Like, it seems like there's a lot of opportunity for helping like Unreal devs with like
Yeah.
optimization shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know
He's
a
like,
lot
I
about
just paid
optimism.
someone $800 to fix one bug. I'm down for that.
Right.
true.
Man.
I don't know, I'd want it to be like super indie approachable too. Like
Mhm.
not fucking
Yeah.
$100 a fucking hour. That shit's
Right.
preposterous.
Right.
Like somebody that I fucking had to hire.
Mhm.
And granted, he got the
Yeah.
problem fixed, but still, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I did graphic artwork, that's how much art charge was $100 an hour. But I mean, I knocked stuff out pretty quick though. So
I don't know, man. I
it didn't take me 8 hours to make a picture,
I would want it to be super approachable to like small fucking indies, like
Right.
$25
yeah.
or $50 an hour.
Sure.
There's one
'cause,
guy
like,
hit me up on Facebook, and his service is he just does the game dev stuff that's boring. He's like, yeah, I'll fill in the level design. I'll transfer
wow.
things. Just tell me your
Mhm.
busy work, and I'll give you a flat price. It's way cheaper than other people do. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
That's cool.
maybe come back to you. I have some boring stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd want to do like consulting stuff for like optimization though, because a lot of people seem to hate optimization, and I
It's-
fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
You know what I
like,
love to do
'cause-
if I was consulting is I would just love to consult people on like the art style of their game because that's something
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
I'm good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be an art consultant. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
job.
I don't know if
It
it's
seems like the
either,
same
but
kind
I
of
feel
job
like
as
I
IT
find the
guy.
first one to make it a job, then that'll be the
Right.
good one. I'll be like the
Hey, shit.
Mhm.
Get that bag.
I think. Well, yeah, no, art. So I guess they call them creative directors, though, right? Because one of my
Yeah, that's
mentors,
true.
he that's his whole gig, right? Like he goes in,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, we want you to make us a character," and then like he'll go in, he'll talk to the art team, and he told me about this example of a character. Like they saw her, she's like this Egyptian goddess, and they're like, oh, she's too cute. And then like he told me when they say that, they usually mean that her eyes are too big. And I was like, that's some crazy ass shit. Like, right? Like, and it makes sense. Like, if you think big anime eyes, right? That, like, that's what his cute character looks like, right? It's wild.
That's funny.
Maybe I
I would
should
think
look
she
into
doesn't
that
look
as we
old enough
speak.
if they told me that. I was like, oh, let's make her a little more like mature and masculine. Like,
Right. Mm-hmm.
whoa, PJ's going crazy.
Up.
Oh,
There
that's
he goes.
creepy.
Yeah, right? That's what you think.
And plug in.
That I did when I stepped out of the guardian boundary.
Right. Mhm. But yeah, optimization's really hard, Robert. And you're pretty gifted at it, and you're really good at like finding the ways to like you're like really intense about like maximizing performance, and like that's that's the type of stuff AAA studios pay people hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out.
I guess,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be.
I
a
love
good
to
I
get
don't know,
paid to
quite
make
like
prototypes too, or just like beginnings of games, because I could totally
Yeah.
like just make a game and get it ready within like a month or two, and be like, here's
Yeah.
the game. Here's how you
Sure.
add content into it. Finish it
Mhm.
yourself. Give me my $5,000.
I don't know, like
Right?
I think that
Mhm.
I think I applied at like hundreds of fucking studios before I started my own.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if Heartlands doesn't work out, I think that aside from consulting, I don't know, I might like just try to get a job at Oculus.
Oh yeah,
Quite
for
frankly.
sure.
Who's
Yeah,
hiring right
because-
now is the tower tag developers. I'm like, hey, if I quit my job and then this deal falls through, I
I
may
mean,
see if I want to hit them up.
I don't know, man.
But I think
so much of, like the
having
future
already-
shit like that
Right.
I've thought about for like the past like 5 years, they're
Mhm.
fucking trying to build. Like they get a lot of
Right.
shit on Facebook. Like
Sure.
Mark Zuckerberg's evil. Yeah, so fucking what? Every fucking one who owns a business is evil.
But it's like you don't become a millionaire
that's
without
fair.
stepping on some people. Like that's just
That-
how it is.
Exactly. Like
True.
the,
Very
the
true.
fucking balls of anyone who's like, I would have ran things differently. No, the fuck you wouldn't have. Eat a dick.
It's like,
There
well,
it is.
that's why you're not a millionaire.
There it is. Spicy. You feel the spicy? You got the.
Need some cream
I
fraiche
can't
up
stand
in
that
there.
I feel like it's
fucking
always
ball-
like because I was before I
fucking
started
balls
game
of that,
developing,
man.
I was like, outsourcing is terrible. It's like you're sending money to the
Right.
country instead of spending it locally. And then as soon as I started, I'm like, man, these people want to charge me $200 for like rigging a character.
Right.
Oh look, this
Right.
person in this country I can't pronounce will do it for $20 on Fiverr. Like hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like you
Mhm.
do what you got to do. Like it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you're not making $10 million though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
The
exactly.
people are outsourcing the big
if
things.
I
like
had
you-
$10
you
million,
can afford
I'd pay the American riggers.
Yeah, yeah.
They
It's
can
different.
afford it, but they didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think there's a level of fucking evil that's like incredible. Like
Yeah.
like the fucking the fucking Walton family having like hundreds of millions of dollars and also like having yachts and shit, but yet their fucking workers are on food stamps. That's some shit that makes you want to burn down buildings.
They're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
they're
almost
like,
half of Walmart workers are on food stamps, which is like
yeah,
that's
fuck
super,
that. It's so
I
fuck.
think some
My
of their
sister
like,
works for
how could you
Walmart.
have a job and still like not be able to? That sucks. Like,
Right.
It's fucked up.
I think Walmart's onboarding process actually teaches them how to fill out for food
That's so
stamps now.
fucked up.
oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
as
it's
you're
fucked up.
getting a
And-
job
and it's
there,
so
they're
fucking different. Like I felt bad about hiring like my music guy. He's getting paid $12.50 an hour, but that's what I can fucking afford. I don't have a fucking yacht I can sell to pay him.
Right.
Like it's so
Yeah.
fucking different. Like there is something to be said about
It's like my
that's enough
voice
of the
actors,
splice.
but my voice actors are just excited. They're like, I'm like, oh, I'll only give you like $25 for this part, and it's like 100 lines, and they're like, I'm just happy you're paying me anything. Like,
yeah, and that's why I haven't even
And that it's not
contacted
some
voice
weird
actors
fan
either.
project,
Like
you
I don't
know?
know,
Like-
I don't know what I would fucking pay him. And I know you.
yeah, no,
you'd
when
like,
you want
a lot
voice
of them are
actors, you
happy
just
to
pay
be-
them anything. Like you
Yeah.
could be. Talk about it. Who's would be good marketing for your game is that guy Techman Jew, that big
Oh,
TikToker.
for sure.
He said he
Mhm.
wants to voice in VR games, so I told him I'll give him a part in my game. And you should ask him a part in your game because he's got a giant ass TikTok. So just him talking
Oh,
about
definitely.
it.
Ah.
He was sitting in that chair, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like
He's awesome.
That was right when I
nice.
made the Twitter. He's like my first follower. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
He like genuinely like really loves VR and like he wants to like
Yep.
get people into it. which
I
think
don't
is
know
cool.
this guy you guys are talking about.
Tech
I've
Man
seen him
shit.
post a few times.
He's like huge on TikTok, but he's also on Twitter. But like he does, he uses the B haptics vest, and he. Oh, how did I get way up here? Where am I even at?
Bye,
Oh,
Justin.
okay, here I am. All right.
Spider-Man.
So, but yeah, he does. He gets like real into it, and I can't really put a finger on why he's popular, but I think he's just like, he's really into it, and he finds cool things to do, and like he has a B haptic vest, and when he plays race car games, he got his little race car set up. So he just he makes VR look fun. Like he makes it appealing to people that don't like really know what's up. I think that's a good thing because sometimes when it's hard to like show newcomers or explain to them like what VR is like. But he does a good job of kind of like showing it to them. There's a lot of people that like they'll be like, I bought VR because how cool you make it look. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like once you show someone VR, it seems like they fucking they really get into it. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say now because I think I've been in
now.
VR longest, and like it hurt me so much when the Quest came out. And people were like, "Oh no, I tried VR. I played with a cardboard." And it's like, no, that's not
Like that's
No.
like I will die on the fucking hill that 3DOF VR damaged VR.
I get that.
It's funny though that I've bought those things and I put my little phone in it and I watched. I think it was like they made a 360 VR video. And it was awesome. Like, you go into the sewer and you're flying around and then his balloons are going everywhere and he pops up behind you and you're turning around. You're like, oh, crap. So, I mean, for me, like when I bought that little thing, like even that crappy little phone thing kind of blew my mind from those videos and made me want to get into
like
it
it was
more.
cool at the time, but the problem is so many people are fucking stupid and don't understand.
Oh shit.
Like
There's more to it.
most fucking Americans are technologically illiterate fucking morons. Okay, they fucking are.
Tell us how you really feel.
I can't stand technological literacy.
If you remember,
Like this shit is fucking simple. Get it? Anyway, so like you try to explain them, the technology has changed in like the past few years. They're like, nah, I tried VR. Like I have a friend who fucking tried like Gear VR, and he's like, nah, I tried VR. I was like, no, you fucking haven't, you dickhead.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna cool down now.
I was going to say, Americans are so dumb because the A&W restaurant tried to like jump into the big McDonald's scene because they offered a 3rd-pound hamburger.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
People thought 1/4 pound was better because there was a 4 in it instead of a 3.
Of course.
No joke. And they never got market share
man.
after it. And it's like,
That's so awful.
Hey,
That's crazy.
I fucking need to move to California, man. I hate Virginia too. I fucking hate it.
I love
Georgia was worse.
It's so
Georgia's the
expensive
worst
here.
place.
Everyone that leaves California is like, "Oh, I'm so glad I left. Everything's so affordable." And I'm like, I
Right.
don't know, man. Like, I like being,
Dude,
when a band goes on tour, I want them to stop near me. Like,
I just want to
I
be
don't
in a
want to
more
drive
liberal place.
10 hours to see a band on tour. Like,
Right.
I don't want everyone at the bar to know me by name. Like,
Right.
you pill popper? Hmm? Whoa, hey, Johnny.
What is happening?
I'm trying to plug in my headset.
he's dropping it like it's hot.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So how do you like
You're
your eggs,
welcome.
buddy? You want some
Overeat.
hash browns in the morning? Over easy?
Yeah, over
I
easy.
don't know. I wonder how
Sweet
much of that's
toast?
like a generational divide too. Like, there's a lot of people that are like older that don't get it. Obviously,
Yeah, I showed him my Pop's VR though, and he loved it. Like I showed him the Oculus First Steps, a little robot thing, and that blew him away. And then we were playing the free fishing game. I think it's called Bait.
yeah.
And, he loved it. He had a blast. Like he keeps saying he wants to buy it, but I think I don't know why he hasn't gotten around to it.
I
I may
don't
just
know,
give him my old quest or just buy him one.
Like
but,
I
yeah.
had really considered getting my mother a Quest for Christmas, because like
Yeah.
she calls me, like, unfortunately she's figured out video calls, so she calls me
Unfortunately.
almost literally every fucking day while I'm in the middle of working and I have a fucking headset on. And I'm just like, what? And she just, and I just sit the phone there and she just watches me develop shit. And I'm like, are you entertained? Yeah,
I love it. That's actually really cute. Personally, I
doesn't-
think that's really cute.
like she doesn't understand any of it. So like I thought about, okay, I'll get her a headset and then like I can bring her into a game, and because she lives like 800 miles away, I'm gonna be like, here, now I'm here. You can stop asking me to come to fucking Georgia. You know?
We could pretend to eat dinner, like.
Yeah, so I thought
Yeah,
about doing
right?
that, right?
Right.
And then yesterday, she asked me how I got the Google box.
A Google box.
Google Box?
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck that meant either. Apparently, she's talking about like a Google Home.
Oh man.
She called it a
I was
Google
asking
box.
for grandkids.
She
Right.
was, thought she was talking about Dreamweaver or something.
No,
Right.
Google box. The fucking Google Assistant is called the Google box to her.
Isn't that the thing in Rick and Morty where they're trying to generate power and inside? of
Right.
That too.
Right.
But this isn't the first time this has happened though either. And my mother's only 55. That's not that old.
That's fair.
That's not that old. And like this is not even okay. So like when Blu-ray first became a thing, right? My sister was at Walmart with my mother and was like, I gotta find a Blu-ray of this fucking show. And my mother picks up the fucking version of it. She's like, what about this one? And my sister goes, no, that's DVD. I need Blu-ray. And my mother goes, oh, that's right. You have regular Ray.
Oh. Right. The old
Oh my god, my
Ray,
father-in-law,
right.
because no one corrected him and he just read it, he was calling Wi-Fi Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
Yeah,
he thinks that's what it, the Wi-Fi.
Where's the Wi-Fi?
I do that just to be stupid. I'll say with
No, this he wasn't being ironic. Like he legitimately thought that's what it was called.
So what I'm gathering is there's going to be a food update to Medieval Designer just because you want to hang out with your mom and eat.
I'm
So,
gonna.
yeah.
I'm probably gonna not get my mother a VR headset. I think that's where this is going. I'm gonna get her a Google box to show someone
She's
else
gonna
to
end
talk
up
to.
like
Right.
right here.
What would happen if you got her a teledildoscopic?
Oh
So-
my.
This got weird. Can I put you in timeout?
Oh, that's funny.
How long am I over here for?
Sure, President erect.
Right.
That would be fucking hilarious because she's a fucking Trump supporter. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my god, that would
even
be
better.
great.
Even
Yeah.
better. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Just like you
that's
can
going on
feel like he's president again, like you're in the Oval Office. You're there
Yeah,
with him.
yeah.
Like,
He is
That'd be great.
president again, right?
Yeah, naturally.
Bill?
Uh-huh. And wasn't Kennedy supposed to come back the other day? Wasn't
Yeah.
that it?
Yeah,
Yep, that's
right,
what it is. Yeah.
Oh man.
Creepy cult
Crazy.
shit, man. I hate it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
I don't know. I can't stand those fucking people either.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Not gonna get into the spice. I'm good.
You can't murder him though, either.
you're like, I don't even want to get started on that.
Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Anybody-
saying that they're not people, but you know.
Oh my. Oh man.
I didn't say
Anybody-
that out loud, you know. I didn't-
You just
I
said
didn't
you
say
weren't
it.
saying that, so
Exactly. I'm
I
not
mean, some
saying
people
that. I'm
think the
not.
Earth is flat. Like,
Right. Oh man.
Mm.
And
some
all
people
the
think
red
Australia is a
listeners
myth.
just drop.
Like,
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
Good shit.
I keep reading, like, I watch videos of, like, people telling their military stories and stuff, and there's snipers that have to, you know, the bullet drop, based on what, like, how far away from the equator they are, they have to adjust for, like, you know,
Right.
the way the Earth curves for the bullet drop
That's
of, like, you know,
crazy.
hundreds of meters, like, you know, half a mile or something like that. And you gotta take it into consideration, like, that proves it.
Right. True.
They hit their target, don't they? Like, you're not making it up.
They're right.
You don't
I
even
know,
fucking need that to like prove
I know
the
you should just be
curvature
able
of
to
the Earth.
put a stick in the ground and be able to tell, like, because even like the ancient Greeks, they measured like the exact size of the Earth almost to within like
just
a few miles,
Just go stand on
just
a
based
fucking
on like
beach.
shadows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know. I just watch
They
a boat
can't-
go over the horizon, like,
Yeah.
They can't understand
or
that
look
stuff.
at the moon and any other celestial object. That's like, why would everything be round except for Earth?
Right.
But they
Yeah.
accept that. They accept that. They just think only the Earth. They know that they're answering that, but like, they don't get the stuff about the shadows. They think that's, you know, fucking stupid. But like, they all like military stuff and shooting guns and things because that's like, you know, graspable.
Yeah.
So you show them like, the really good gun shooters have to deal with that. So therefore,
And they're like, oh yeah, guns are real, so that must be.
yeah, that military sniper guy wouldn't lie to me.
Right.
You would.
True.
With
He's
your
like the
shadow.
Punisher.
I don't know how we got on this topic. We should probably go back to dev shit.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. All
Yeah.
your red listeners just dropped off, like all of them.
Yeah, well, they can eat
Yeah.
dicks, so
Oh my.
It's true too. It's they can if they want to. They have the ability. You're not
That is
really
an
slamming
option.
anything.
That is a choice.
yeah, they can eat dicks. They can choose to fry up a cock and eat it, if they want. It's on them.
Eat all of it.
Oh boy.
Spicy's back.
Spicy.
I can't help it. I am very liberal.
This is what I signed up for Twitter for.
Right. You get it live and in person, though. Right.
I just go kill my account 'cause I don't need it. This is where I get it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if we just did this more often, we wouldn't even need Twitter.
Yeah.
Fair.
But no one
I
would
think
know
we
we'd
all
be here
work too
doing it.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
that too. Yeah. Hmm.
Well, it never would have started in the first place, right? You guys all kind of
Yeah.
met on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Yeah, like you guys messaged me through Twitter, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me
It's
and
like, hey
D-Mom
man,
met
you're
in
making a cool
Launchpad.
game. You want to come talk about it?
Yeah, that was cool.
Mhm.
And then it turned into this, me talking about how conservatives are not. Never mind. Anyway, so
Oh,
How
boy.
libertarians believe weird things.
You're right.
Every
so
time I try to
anyway,
ask them what they
polygons,
like believe in,
guys.
they always give it
Like
the weirdest
triangles and shit. Let's
explanations.
talk about that.
Triangles. Yeah.
Triangle,
Triangles.
so many triangles.
I just
Right.
today we actually managed to cut the entire town from 2.2 million triangles down to 1.8 million. So that's cool.
That's
Wow.
great.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nice reduction.
I got my
Yeah.
shadows looking a little nicer. I started using shadow cascading, which I realized was a thing.
Cascade
so.
shadows.
Yeah, so you
Oh.
can make your up close shadows look good while still making the far away ones performant.
Yeah, we're still using no shadows at all, which is fucking phenomenal. I'm so proud of how the
Yeah.
game looks without lighting at all.
That's
That's probably how our
impressive.
quest version is going to be. No shadows.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But I'll leave
Yeah.
that to my quest.
the way the fucking eye works is just so cool because
Right.
if you have a light a light source on at night in the game, it looks like other things are casting shadows even though they're literally not.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's just the other shades of the
pretty
color that look
Yeah.
a little darker.
Oh, that's really
And like
neat.
I swear, like if you walk under like the bridge thing
Mhm.
or like where this like big overpass thing is, if you walk
Mhm.
under, it looks like the ground underneath of it's darker, even though it's fucking not, and it's really
That's
cool.
That's awesome.
I like your brain fills it in. It's like when people see my
Yeah.
blood effect, they're like, "How did you make the blood stains line up so perfectly, like with the splashes?" I'm like, "They're not really lined up perfectly. It's just
Yeah,
close enough that your
Right.
brain fills in the difference." Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm probably the
Mhm.
only one that knows it doesn't line up carefully because I look at it so closely.
Yeah.
It's close enough that your brain will like tell you that's what's happening, that it's that blood splashing on.
Right.
Exactly, really as
Yeah.
perfect as you think it is.
Mhm. Have any of you guys tried Resident Evil 4 yet?
I haven't. I never even played
I
the
haven't
original.
tried it yet.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. One of my friends.
Yeah, I've
messaged
heard
me
good things too. I only played the first Resident Evil though, and I had a hard time getting into it. Just the whole thing, like, I don't know if you played the old Resident Evil games or Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis, I was
Yeah.
able.
Yeah.
I played it too, and like I tolerated the terrible controls just because I like
Sure.
dinosaurs so much.
Like,
Right.
But
I
when
think
I played Resident
1,
Evil-
2, and 3, but like I
Right.
don't think I got into it
Right.
past that.
Yeah.
The
4
Resident
was
Evil-
like the.
Yeah, I
4 was
didn't like
that-
how you had to like stop and then like turn
Right.
and then shoot, and then
Yeah.
you're like, now let me
Yeah.
resume walking. And when I was playing that, I was like, man, these controls are just so bad.
Right.
Like I
I
can't.
don't know, like
do
a
this.
lot of like honestly, a lot of what I've heard about the port is that just that they changed some shit or something. Like they took out
Sure.
references
so-
to tits or
yeah.
something. I don't know.
And they took out like 2 jokes, and everyone's all up in arms over it. Like,
Yeah, I don't understand the problem. Like,
I saw-
what?
Yeah, it's like, dude, if you know those jokes are there, why does it matter if they're taken out? Like, you already
Alright.
laughed at them once. Like, I don't think jokes are funny. Like, you already know about them. Like, it's like the people that were losing their mind over Super Hot taking out the gunshot to the head. I was like, I thought that was a cool scene, but I mean, I could take it or leave it. It's not
Yeah.
gonna ruin the game for you
Yeah.
because you don't.
Hey, now
You can still
I-
shoot
I-
yourself in the head to exit the menus.
I should be able to shoot myself in the head at any time in any game.
You
Yeah.
can, but it doesn't make you shoot yourself in the head anymore. Before it made you do it.
Ah.
People were like, "Oh my god!" Like they brought me back to my suicide attempt, and I'm like, "Dude, it's a video game.
That's
It
Yeah.
doesn't even look real. Like everything's
Yeah,
so, like
those people need to go
polygons.
outside
Fair.
and fucking touch some grass.
Yeah,
I don't know. I should explicitly make it that you have to stab yourself in the stomach or something,
Yeah,
Oh,
just,
no.
to, just to
Harry
save
Carey.
the game.
Yeah.
I want a
have the
T-shirt that
guest on.
says that.
Actually, that'd be more of a thing for you, Justin. Just making
Yeah,
fun of
right.
Haruka. Yeah,
But you got to have the happy
Oh.
vest on.
or maybe like
Exactly.
you piss
Right.
off a boss, you have to like cut your pinky off.
Oh man! Right. Oh
Yeah.
man.
such a fucking. It's so stupid.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was like I had this idea for a game, and I was going to call it like a reverse escape room, but it was going to be like a horror game, but you were like the killer. And I had it all pictured out. I was like, first you have to like, disable their car and like cut the phone lines and like cut off
That
all
sounds
their
amazing.
ways of
Yes.
escape. And then the part that like it all sounded great in my mind because like there's like games like what's it? I Expect You to Die and stuff, and it just works
Yeah,
great
sure.
with VR mechanics. But then when I got to the part where you're actually like killing the innocent people, that's when I was like, I don't know.
Right.
So,
I don't know
think
what the
people
fuck it says about me
jerks, like,
psychologically, but like I hate horror movies, but I love the idea of being able to murder innocent people.
But like,
Fair.
you could do a lot of
Yeah,
that, man. Because if you pop
I
out
don't know
and
what
kill
that
them,
says psychologically, but
if you it's almost like a reverse stealth game too. Because if you pop
Yeah.
out and kill the NPC,
Right.
but their friends aren't watching, you don't get as much points.
Yeah, that's
because
what I was
you gotta
thinking
scare
too. Is
the
that you
hell
can
out
like
of
cut the
other
people up and like display their bodies to scare their friends,
Right,
and then
you
or
gotta
maybe
lead
what
them-
you could do is
Okay,
like
now
you
it
can
got
like
weird.
scare them, and then after you scare them, they call the cops, and if you like get them to, and then you hide. So if you get them to fake call the cops like 2 or 3 times, and the cops won't come anymore because they think they're pranking
Right.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun.
or even
So
better,
you
you
see
come
that-
out and you slit the cop's throat. Even better,
But they have to see that
Yeah.
happen, or have.
And then you can
some
take the cop's
evidence.
uniform and then use it to like sneak up on the kids.
You could just
Oh,
you
yeah, there's
cut
all
the
kinds of
cop's face
possibilities.
off
You
and
can
just
have
wear it over
different
your
achievements
face.
or different ways to like approach it. Like
Right.
it'd be like
But you
Hitman,
have
but,
to scare
like,
the
you know,
shit out of the
warriors.
NPCs. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, you get
This
like more
is,
points
Dude,
for scaring
this sounds
them.
like an incredible game. I expect
Yeah.
this by 2024.
There was this there's this PS3 Xbox 360 game called Naughty Bear, and that's kind of how they got around it. Like it's basically like the fucking Care Bears, and you're this one fucked up Care Bear that wants to kill all the other Care Bears, and it's exactly this, right? And I
The
love
Happy
it.
Tree
It's-
Friends.
Yeah,
Happy Tree
right.
Friends.
It's really fucked up. And I actually wanted to make a game kind of like that. You'd be like the evil dark wizard in like fucking fairyland, and just be there to kill the
Everybody
fucking.
Destroy All Humans recently. That was on
Oh, yeah.
Game Pass. I started
Oh,
picking
so
up. That
good.
was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I
I kind of felt bad killing the farmer in the beginning. He just comes out and I just like kill him and his wife.
Yeah,
And it's like,
well,
I'm like,
that's
oh, well, whatever.
Well, here we
After
are.
that, they made the rest of the people jerks, so you don't feel as bad. But the first
Yeah,
farmer
I
guy was
mean,
just a farmer,
To,
like,
to
and
be
his wife.
fair, to be fair, he called you green.
That's true. That's
He
true.
looked at you funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Crypto ain't having that shit. I am not
Right.
green.
Right.
I fucking love that game so much.
Okay. Me too.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
It was great. Ragdoll physics
Mhm.
are the best.
Yeah.
Um,
Just probing people to death. All kinds of fun.
all right. I made like a little prototype at my first job, I think. I was just fucking around, but like you basically abduct people in town and you blow up a city. It was all inspired by like the flight stuff in Destroy All Humans. It was amazing.
Nice.
Remember the old N64 South Park game where you'd get like the probe gun and you'd shoot him with it, and the big antenna
Oh,
from like Cartman's ass
man.
would come out of their ass
Oh.
and shit.
I read that there is for Saints Row. I forget if it was 2 or 3, but they had a gun that they were forced to take out. But basically, like it's a dildo gun, but you would shove it up the people's asses and then go like that and then shoot the
Oh,
dildo out and they would go
shit.
flying. But because there's a
They
law
did not
against
take that out. That is in
rape
Saints
without
Row 3.
context, they had to remove
Is
it.
it?
What?
They didn't take that out. It's in Saints Row 3.
Is it?
Oh, maybe they had to remove it for certain countries then. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they
Like,
added it
because
back in. Maybe they
because
caught it,
you grab someone, you flip around, you jam this thing up their ass, and they go flying. It's great. I love it.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe it was only censored out of certain countries then.
I'm gonna be so mad if in the new Saints Row they've like rebooted it if they took out the fucking penetrator.
Agreed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that. I remember the dildo bat. You can just like beat people.
Yeah,
up.
it's called the penetrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the penetrator.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. I'm actually.
Great.
I think that's the game I'm the most excited for next year. Which is, I don't know what that says about me, but I'm really excited. Well, I'm an
never
old
really-
Saints Row fan, and I hope it's good.
Dude, I
never
fucking
really
love
got
Saints
into
Row.
those because they were like GTA, but like going off the rails.
Yeah,
It's
like
been a
crazy.
while.
It was more
Yeah.
gangster than GTA. I mean, except for maybe
True.
San
The
Andreas,
first
but
two.
I mean, especially the second one. I mean, you like trick a guy into like
Yeah.
killing his own girlfriend. It's pretty
That's-
brutal. Like,
That was. I love that so much. One of my favorite gaming. Yeah.
I like too how like once you took over territories, then your gang was there, so you just roll up on
Yeah.
the streets and you'd have your like your homies there, and you can like
Like-
tell them to get in your car. Like,
Yep.
that was great.
I remember like a friend of mine was saying he's a British guy, so he buys like every copy of the game that comes out to see if they're different. I don't know why they do that. But he was like one of the Saints Row games, like every room in every building you could go into.
Oh.
Is that true?
But I think that was Saints Row 2. I remember in Saints Row 2 you could pick up stuff too. I remember picking up like a brick of weed and killing someone with it. It was pretty awesome. Like,
Oh, that's
and,
wild.
and I was kind of sad they took that out in Saints Row 3. You couldn't wield like
All
random items.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I liked Saints Row 3 until this remaster. Then it's like, I get it now, but when I was younger, I was super disappointed. Like Saints Row.
Yeah,
3
me too. I was like, man, this is not
I-
gangster like
I
the other one.
personally
It's a little
love
too
Saints
cheesy,
Row
like-
3 and 4.
Mhm.
Like, I understand the love for Saints Row 2,
Mhm.
but like the goofiness of it is just fucking amazing. Like, I love being able to kill people with the dildo bat and watch them fly. I love fucking killing people with the fucking dubstep gun. That's my favorite.
that.
Just
The
kill them with
dubstep
wubs.
gun?
Wub, wub,
For
wub.
For me, it wasn't like
Explodes.
the silly like weapons that were kind of thrown off. It was just kind of the plot itself. Like he didn't seem like a thug anymore. Like he didn't seem
Yeah.
like a badass.
Right.
Wasn't he like what is that the fourth one? He was the president.
The fourth one is
The
the
fourth
fucking
one, yeah.
president, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it felt like in the first two, like it felt more like it was about like gang violence and like him
Right.
building
Yeah.
his gang. And the third one, it didn't. It felt like it was just like a normal game, like not about gang
Right.
violence.
PJ, you and I think we played co-op or something like that in two because
Mhm.
I remember somebody having a pimp
yeah.
hat. I don't know if they just get the pimp hat when you equip some pimp weapon.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
I
I think they
remember
had like a
that.
cane shotgun in the second one, which
They
I
did,
love that.
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was the one that Michael Rappaport guy was like one of the voices of the characters. That actor, he's real angry sounding.
I'm not sure.
It was
though.
one of the old ones.
No, they had a lot of good like voice actors.
They did, yeah. Yeah, especially
Keith
for
I
the
David
remember
first
the one
one.
they had
Saints
like the
Row
T-Pain guy
3, man.
that was like
Huh?
singing with the robot voice.
Like Mila
yeah,
Kunis
Zima.
in the first. The dude
I
from the
mean,
Green
Kunis when
Mile.
she's in like Robot Chicken. Like those episodes are always funny.
It's so interesting. Like, have you guys seen the video for the vertical slice of Saints Row 2?
No.
Nah.
It's available on the internet. It's under a GDC talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like.
It is so fucking rough.
Yeah.
Like, it makes my vertical slice shit feel like a complete fucking game. It's crazy, like, how different things are now to then, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Well, even like you, because you were mentioning it earlier, right? Like I think a lot of new devs don't understand it, but it's always weird when games are in that place where it's like, okay, I finished a bunch of shit, but I haven't brought it together, so it doesn't even really
Yeah.
feel like a game yet. And then you
Yeah.
finally put it all together, and it's like, I see it now. Like this
Yeah.
is the game, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like mine. Like when I posted like that GIF like a week after I started it, like I already had like YouTubers like hitting me up. I'm like, dude, it's
Mhm.
literally like you start the game, you grab the sword, the enemies spawn out and come at you, and you kill them. That's it. You don't die. You don't have health. You just smack the
Right.
enemies around. Like you can't make a YouTube video on this. There's nothing to
Yeah.
make a video on. That's why
right.
the only thing I'm showing is this 5-second GIF. Like it
Yeah.
looks like a game, but that's because that's what I meant it to look like.
Exactly,
Right.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
When you got those stark black and white, ink graphics, it's kind of hard not to look awesome. right away, so they probably didn't know any
It's
difference.
like, this was basically a proof of concept. I just slapped this together to see if it was a good idea.
Yeah.
What I kind of want to do once I have some time to leave my job is I have all these assets like car controller stuffs and like racetrack makers for Unity. I want to make a really quick race car game. Just throw a quick VR camera inside the car and see if that's enough to get it looking cool.
That sounds like a great way to make someone puke.
That too.
Mini motor racing's
Speaking of-
fun in Cockpit Drive.
Yeah.
I'll just put it on my Patreon so no one will actually like pay for it, so they can't really complain.
There we go.
Yeah, those
you should-
hardcore VR people, they don't care. Like those people are like really into it. They're like, no, I want the
Yeah, I
first person
can-
camera. I don't care.
Right.
Here I'm bad with names, but is it Moonshine Games that's making the sail game, one of the pirate games? He made a little racing thing on the side. It's rough, but it's fun. But I was flying over hills in that thing in VR and didn't even bother me. But I thought it was
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest concern about San Andreas. Like, I like the idea of GTA San Andreas in VR, but like the airplane shit in that game was
No.
rough. And
Or the
so-
bicycle stuff.
Yeah,
playing
right.
GTA.
Bicycling down the hill.
Right. Yeah. So I have questions for that one.
I've played GTA with the VR mod, and
Mhm.
I've started the story like on Xbox stuff, but I never finished it. But in VR, it like really sucked me in.
Yeah.
And that mod is awesome but rough. And I was
Right.
driving first person, jumping off like
Mhm.
hills and cliffs, and I was flying the plane, barrel rolling, and I jumped out, and like never phased me.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
there's
That looks
like a
pretty
lot
good.
of rules, quote rules for fucking game dev when it comes to VR. Like the one that's like core is you don't grab the player's head
Right.
and
Yeah.
fucking like rotate the camera. You're not supposed to fucking
Yeah.
do that, but it
True.
doesn't bother a lot of people. But
Yeah.
like that, like we came across that in development of Heartlands. Actually, I have great fucking VR legs. I don't get motion sick by fucking anything. But
Quite classic Doom
Nathan
VR.
Nathan
That one
fucking
got me.
we have like 300 fucking staircases in the city,
For sure.
and stairs are something you shouldn't do in VR.
Right.
Like unless it's just like one or two. So now we have like
Mhm.
3 staircases.
I got
Mhm.
stairs, but like the collider itself is a ramp, so like you kind
Yeah.
of
Right.
slide up it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like changing like vertical height is just it
Oh
fucks
yeah,
with
someone told me that, and that's what I got on my game. I'm like, dude, the vertical height is what makes the level design interesting.
Yeah, I mean
right?
it
Yeah.
fucks with your vestibular system,
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Gazoom type.
I'm
I see
like,
what
just use the teleport.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My game's not even gonna fucking have teleport. It's just
Huh?
smooth locomotion.
Smooth. Yeah, that's brave.
Yay.
Yeah.
I fucking hate teleport locomotion
Yeah.
with a
Snap
burning
turning.
passion.
Mhm.
My
Snap
teleport,
turning
it's
makes
like
my
my
head
teleport's
hurt.
a dash though, which isn't even like less motion sickness inducing because it's really still smooth motion but faster. But at least I
Oh,
got the little
wow.
speed line vignette. But
Sure.
I'll probably like add some extra options though in case people do like
Me
complain
too.
about it.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
As long as you
However
have
you
the
pronounce that
options.
word.
I still haven't figured out how the fuck I'm gonna do options. Like I've been trying to figure that
Yeah.
out for like even Medieval Designer for a while because my whole thing is fuck flat UI and fuck laser pointers.
Sure.
So like like
Just
like,
say
one of the
Cinder
things.
style. Just have a scroll that you poke. Like,
Oh yeah.
Eh,
Perfect. No.
you're like, I want to
I
be
mean,
creative.
like-
No dice.
nah,
yeah.
that's it's just bad. Like everything needs to be grab based. So like one of the
Right.
ones that I thought like about that was really good for Medieval Designer that I haven't implemented yet that I think I'm going to is like fucking skin color selection, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
so like tell me
Mhm.
what you think about this, right? So like
Mhm.
you'll open up like a cog menu of some kind, and just like how the menus like fly out around the player,
Mhm.
you would just have like a bunch of a bunch of fucking hands fly out around you.
I did.
And you could just
it.
grab
Oh, so you
color
pick a
of your
hand and the
skin.
skins are preset.
Right.
When you said cogs, I thought you meant there was going to be like a color wheel and like you just, I want to be darker. It's like, oh, now I want to be pinker.
Right.
Like,
That's it.
No,
Right,
no,
right,
because that's
right,
still
right.
way too much like flat UI. Like you'd have just like
Yeah.
hands fly around you, and you like if you want to be black or white or what the fuck ever, you could just fucking grab the hand.
Right.
be like, that hand looks like my hand, kind of.
Cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you could do the Conan hand soup, where it's just a big pot of soup and hands pop up, but then the hand comes.
Oh man.
You're just picking up a body part, and that's the skin shade I want, and then I eat it.
And then you turn into that.
This got weird.
Or maybe you start off as a slime, and then like the first person you touch, you take their shape.
Oh, I love it. That's actually pretty funny.
You're like a body snatcher or something like.
Yeah. That alone is a great idea for a game. Just fucking body
I
snatch.
love it. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm having a lot of problems like that. Like how am I like someone else like from Medieval Designer? They were like, so like I want like the ability to have like a grid snap, right?
Right.
So like how the fuck am I gonna handle that with a grab based system? You know, like I did enable
What I've seen-
like
Well, when you let go of it, it could check which like each you can have like a kind of a array of points, or even just like when it lists, it kind of checks like has a certain increment. Like let's say the increment is like 0.5 meters or something.
yeah.
And so as soon as you release it, it checks to see like X and Y which one it's closest to.
Oh, I mean, I
and then
already
it
I
moves
already
to
got the
that
grid
grid.
system working. Like that's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is like, what if the player wants more than like a 5-degree grid or something like that? What if they want to make it 10 or 50? You know, like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I understand.
sometimes
That's
I think
options.
I think so personally, I think that there's a point like there's a place for player choice, but I think there's also a point where it's like, okay, so I'm the developer, and for this to work easily, this is how it's going to work, right? And I think players are actually really responsive to that if they understand the rules. Like if they know, oh, I can only have 5, they're okay with 5. But
Yeah,
it's when
you
like
just gotta be you just gotta not be a dick about it. You know,
right, exactly.
I'm the developer. You eat a dick and play it how I want you to.
Right, yeah.
Maybe don't do
As long
that.
as you don't say that, right? Yeah.
I might say that on Reddit to some fucking assholes, but you know.
Why do you
Right,
want
of
everybody
course.
to eat dicks?
Right. He's just saying
I
they
mean-
can. They
Yeah, I'm saying they can eat dicks. I don't know.
If it was a friend, I'd stop them.
It's the same thing as like dick jokes are universally funny still.
Mm.
Like, it's just
That was
Yeah.
funny.
Mhm.
I don't know if you ever seen that show Metalocalypse, but
Yeah.
the animation studio Titmouse are always at like Comic Con, so I always go like to their panel and talk to them. And one person asked them like why like they always say like dildos when they're mad, like it's a negative thing. And he's like, I don't think dildos are a negative thing. It's just a funny word. Like I would
Yeah,
think dildos
right.
was a great word even if it didn't mean what it means.
yeah.
Right. Fair.
Yeah.
I just like the word dildo, so I put it wherever I can.
That's
Yeah.
fair. All right. I'd see that.
You excited
But
for
also,
Comic
yeah.
Con, Johnny?
Hmm?
I was like, you excited for Comic Con, Johnny?
I'm super excited, man. Yeah, thank you so much for the invite. Like, I think yeah, I'm super excited. There we go. Now I teleported up there, but yeah, and then like, yeah, I think I mentioned it in our chat for Comic Con. Like, my girlfriend, her parents came over or whatever, and like, she mentioned that I was going to be on a Comic Con panel before I could even talk, and I was like, oh, I guess you're excited for me too. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah,
I
I'm super
feel pretty
excited.
cool that I'm gonna have a quote presence there, even though I'm across the
Yeah.
fucking country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Also, speaking of which, how much fucking money do I owe you for printing things? Do you know
I'm
yet?
gonna get that together and order it this weekend. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
still
Should
gotta
I send you like
design
the
mine, but I'll
logo?
probably do that.
Yeah. Me
Yeah,
too.
whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. You saw the website too, so just you can see
Sure.
the sizes on there and what they are.
Can you
and,
do like half and half for me, like half white and half the black logo?
yeah, whatever you send me. I mean, just look at the prices on there. I mean, it's a separate printing, so just look
Yeah.
at the website. Let me know what you want to order and send me the logos, and we'll.
I already sent you the logos; they're in the chat. But maybe I should do it differently.
Oh well, just check the sizes of the stickers. Just make sure. Well, I mean, I can always resize
Yeah.
them for you. If they're not-
Well, yeah. I mean, my artist Joy, she did them in a size where they would fit on like a poster that's like 18 by 24 or something like that. So
Oh, okay, cool.
without getting blurry or gross looking. So
Yeah,
They
I
should
was just
scale
saying like the
down just
dimensions,
fine.
but I can always just add more black
Yeah.
on the top or more black on the side, whatever it needs to fit.
or
in
white, yeah.
the same rectangle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Whatever, whatever background is, I can just expand that to make it fit in the rectangle or whatever. the
Yeah.
sticker needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be pretty fun. Oh, and then yeah, like you said, Lucas, he has his AR house, which I don't know if you looked into it, but it's like basically he rented out like a house for him
Yep.
and other
And now he just.
for him.
Oh,
first-
there we go.
Like they always throw these like crazy like AR parties. So
That's
uh,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
their
invited-
shit seems really awesome. Lucas has made some really cool shit.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited
yes.
to meet him. Like it.
Me
like a
too.
cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I eventually start working on more AR shit, I'd like to collaborate with him at some point for something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
shit.
you'd be the person to do it, and I'm sure he'd be happy to help it. Like he just wants
Yeah.
AR to do well, so he's happy to help
Yeah.
anyone. Yeah,
I
he's
think I
pretty-
saw this crazy Magic Leap demo he did or something where like basically there was like a crack in the wall. His friend and him both had Magic Leaps on, and they could see each other through the crack in the wall, like they were almost looking
Yeah.
into each other's houses. It was wild. Yeah.
That's cool
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
He made one
Mhm.
too where like it turned his girlfriend into like an instrument, so like he was tapping on her arms and it was like lighting up and playing like music and
Oh,
stuff.
that's
Like
cool.
and he
could,
made like a food one too. You
Yep,
grabbed like
okay.
a eyeball instead.
Oh boy.
You do some what was that movie? Lost Boys. You're eating snake or you're eating maggots.
There's
Right.
so much shit that I'm excited for AR, man. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
like you guys, you fuckers have had access. Oh, sorry, you Unity fuckers have had access to the pass-through API for a long time, and we still don't have it, and I'm mad about it.
I
Yeah.
bet. I bet.
I may
You
make
guys
a
are
little
great,
mode where
but
he
you
just has the
fuckers already have
pass-through.
access to it. You know,
Fair. That's fair.
I
I
say
may
that
make a
with
mode
love.
at that where he just has the enemies just spawn in, but there's no environment, but the environment's
Yeah.
just the pass through. So you can
Yeah,
like
that's-
slaughter some people in your house.
Dude, the
Mhm.
absolute like I'm so mad about it because like the absolute perfect use case for AR is decorating your fucking house.
Yeah.
So like Medieval Designer
Alright.
was gonna do
Yeah.
it day one because it's easy to
Medieval
do.
bedroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when there
Uh-huh.
was that pass through bug. I don't know if you guys ever experienced it on the Quest, but like there was this thing where you could like play a game and also have pass through like halfway turned on.
Oh, nice.
I put a bench on my real world couch
Ooh,
and I
you're
sat
talking
on it
about that,
and
yeah.
it felt amazing.
That's cool.
I seen people do that like for Elder Scrolls, like when they want to pretend like they're drinking at the bar, they'll like
It's mind-blowing.
line it up with a real chair.
Oh, that's neat.
Pretend they have real drinking buddies.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I want to play Red Dead Redemption in VR is so I can like go
Oh.
drink at the bar.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking
Oh, that'd
mind
be
blowing.
so
AR
cool.
is fucking incredible. Like I wish I had more time because I also have something I want to do with the Magic Leap. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I
You know
have a
what'd be
contextual
cool, like-
information thing that I want to do, you know? Like I made this thing where like if you look at a butterfly, it tells you what kind it is.
Oh, that's dope. What I
But
would
I don't
love to
have time
do
to
like a
work on it anymore.
contextual thing. I don't know if you guys saw when Microsoft was advertising its like MR thing.
HoloLens.
They actually did a Conquer like demo, and like Conquer was
Yeah.
running and like jumping on like the furniture and stuff. And when
Yep.
it jumped on like the couch or bed, it can tell it was a couch or a bed, so it would like
Yep.
bounce on it.
Yep.
Like that was sick. That's what I would love to do because I like that movie Small Soldiers. Like imagine you have like a little
Yeah.
make it like a RTS where you set up your little toy guys and the other person has
Yeah.
their toy guys and you set them to fight. Like I think it would be some. Whoa,
Where the hell just happened?
Johnny just like fell through his floor. If he's on the second floor, he just fell through to like the first floor of his house.
Oh, okay.
I see his hand just floating here.
Johnny, scream if you need help.
I know it's like Hellraiser. He's like behind the walls or something. Then PJ shrunk, or he's just sitting on the floor in his house. I don't know.
I fell off my chair. Help.
Maybe Johnny's battery died. We haven't been in here a while. You're making a wish.
Yes.
And see, like, I would love to play Medieval Designer in AR right now because I'm gutting my office and I kind of want to do a Viking thing because I love Viking shit.
See, wouldn't that shit be fucking incredible?
I'm like, I need ideas because I'm like, I have some, but I need to see it in my room without, I guess I can go to
That would be cool
Photoshop
too. If
and-
you can like set up approximate like sizes of your own like real life furniture, even if it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
one exactly. If it was just the same size, you can be like, instead of having to move all the furniture in your room to see how it's organized, you can actually just
Yeah.
do it and like see it in
Yeah.
AR.
That's what I would like to do. Just like get a bunch of profiles and narrow it down. Be like,
Did you
now
guys?
I need,
You guys fucking
don't-
see that Unreal is coming to America on the 18th?
What?
no.
Unreal?
You know about the Unreal glasses?
Oh, Unreal. They said Unreal.
Yeah,
like
not
the engine
Unreal,
used.
not Unreal. Yeah, Unreal.
Unreal. Well, which are those again? Those are some nice ones. I don't know. I don't
They're
follow
the Unreal light
That shit.
glasses. Like they hook up to your phone and use your phone as like the computational power.
That's smart.
It's not amazing, but like,
Yeah, I played some cool AR games on my phone.
dude,
like if I can
they're
just
like
get
super fucking light too. They weigh like 100 grams or some shit like that.
Honestly, if
Wow.
I can just play the AR stuff from my phone, but on like a pair of glasses, I would already be pretty impressed. Like, I'd get down some Angry Birds AR, like
Dude,
some glasses.
There's a demo of someone putting like a cabin in their backyard, and then like it looks like they're solid walls, right? And then like you look outside and like he can see his backyard like through a window. The kind
That's
of shit
cool.
is mind blowing. Like that's why like so many people think that like the shit that like Meta is pitching is like nonsense. But like that's what I've been seeing as the future for like the past few years.
Oh
Yeah, my
yeah, yeah. What
girlfriend-
they're talking about is definitely like where it's going.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
My
like for
girlfriend's
people
like-
that are
It's obviously not like the products that they're releasing in the next year, but it's
no.
definitely where it's going to be like at some point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean like people like it's just the internet. We should just keep calling it that, not the metaverse. But it's a fundamental change on how we use and like gain information. It is substantially different than like pulling out your phone and using your stupid fucking chimp thumb to look for something.
Also, we do have very fine control over that chimp thumb, so it's going to be hard.
Do you? Are you sure? Finer control in what your brain can do?
Given the input, like, what do you mean? How's my brain going to search for stuff with these glasses?
Oh, brain computer interface. Just like, you know, the electromagnetic fucking wristband things.
Oh, I'm not doing that. No.
Like the one where they make the train go with their thoughts, and it's like,
Yeah.
Mm,
Easy. You just put on something that looks like a watch, and then it just reads the electrical impulses.
Huh.
It's cool shit.
like in
I don't want
Godzilla
them to-
versus Space Godzilla, that like helmet the lady put on, and like, and she controlled
Not
Robo
quite.
Godzilla with her brain.
Yeah.
I really want them to get better at that. And I don't want them to steal the crap right out of my brain or make me dream shit.
Future-
No.
Yeah.
oh, like the episode of Futurama where they have
Yep.
put
Yeah.
advertisements in people's dreams.
Yeah.
We got ads in billboards and in cars and on radios, but not in our dreams.
I'm super excited about it, man. Like being able to like, I don't know. One thing that I really want is to be able to bring people back from the dead. That sounds awesome. Terrifying to a lot of people, but it sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Like-
I know you're not anyone I know personally, but celebrities would be neat.
Like Black
I don't know.
Mirror, when
My
the-
entire life at this point is just an attempt to drown out the pain of my brother being dead. So, you know, eventually I'll just bring him back to life with AI, and I'll be sad that way instead.
Hmm.
This got weird. Sorry.
And that's not it's not a really strange show. A lot of people do that, but is that kind of like that Black Mirror episode where like the girl's boyfriend dies and then it like there's an AI that'll read his Facebook and then it like chats with her and then it talks to her on the phone and then there's like a body replacement for her, like something like that.
Yeah, I'm totally
With
cool with that.
AR?
I've never seen Black Mirror though, so I don't know.
There's one that has it like that. Like he
Yeah.
dies, so this AI it reads his Facebook and then literally starts chatting with her and it talks just
Yeah.
like him. And then, you know, there's this upgrade you can buy for me that I can talk like him and call you on the phone.
Yeah.
and all
I
that
see no
stuff.
problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah. I think it all depends, like, on your personal experience. Like, because my mom passed, like, last year, and I don't know if I would want to, like, experience that. But
Yeah.
I think everyone has, like, their own ways, like, they deal with it. But I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I
too,
mean,
like,
like,
I think in some
I think
ways,
it's-
though, like, I do, like, try to reclaim my past in ways, you know, play retro games. Like, in
yeah.
that emu VR, I basically recreated my
Mhm.
childhood bedroom in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
my family just got back with Vietnamese food, so I'm gonna go get down some pho with
Yeah.
shrimp
Cool.
in it. If you guys are wondering,
Gross.
Can you just eat with your VR helmet on so we can kind of see you?
Yeah. You know, just kind of shovel into your mouth.
Enjoy.
All right,
man.
Bishop, man, yeah, have a good weekend, guys. I'll talk to you again.
Hi, guys.
soon.
Yeah, it's
Have
good
a
hanging
one.
out.
Bye. And make another wish real quick.
I'm sorry to hear about your brother, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it's been 5 years, so you know I'll be all right.
Still sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I can imagine how you guys feel. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Don't know what happened to Johnny or Demaw for that matter. We'll have to bust Demaw's balls on Twitter later.
Yeah.
Have to buy Johnny a battery pack.
Yeah, like having the fucking Quest battery strap on the back is actually incredible. I love it. Like that's why everyone's like, you shouldn't use the built-in battery strap because it'll break. Show me who else is making one with a built-in battery pack that doesn't just flop around like a flaccid dick on the back. I don't want that.
Like a dildo.
Yeah, like a dildo. Yeah. Anyway, that's a good note to end on. All right, guys.
See you, man.
Take it
All
easy,
right,
man.
I'll
This is
see you
good
guys
talking.
on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter.